I really enjoyed this too, man. Like this is a lot of fun. Like it's what was it? I was watching the Eddie Murphy one, and you were like, it felt like homework, but it was like homework that I wanted to do, you know. And that's how I feel about this too. I watched it with Kenya, and man, she was just roasting me the whole time.
Oh, what'd you say? What'd you say?
Oh, dude, she was just like anytime I make like a weird like noise or weird laugh, she's like, whoa. And then she just look at me and stuff like that, just saying just goofy shit about me, you know. And then there was something I said about the family, like whenever we were talking about the clumps and everything. She was like, I can't remember exactly what it was, man. But dude, she was tearing into me. It was great. I loved it.
I haven't checked it yet since before you started, but last I checked, they had like 44 views, and I was like, man.
I know. I don't know if that's me like going and checking to see how many views it has, and then we add another one kind of thing.
Hey, the more.
I checked it maybe like 8 times, so maybe you know, maybe a little skewed. I don't know, but yeah.
Actually, I think I have a schedule for side by side. I think I can figure. So I'll do edit. But I'll do Monday, Tuesday, and then whatever left Wednesday, and then I'll air it Wednesday night. So we'll do side by side on Wednesday nights. You know, probably I'll try to, or Wednesday day, whatever time, and that'll be kind of like where we can. Now you'll start seeing the episodes on Wednesday, and then I got to figure out. I got because Alec, the ones to do with the pun, those are easy because those are like yours are like we're doing like a kind of a. Our own version of surgery on a movie, like breaking it down on our own. We're just talking about the actual movie that we just saw. We're not bringing a lot of stuff from like that we're figuring out. Like, I mean, sorry, we don't go in like that, but we'll look it up as we go. Like we'll research stuff. So
yeah,
we try, and we also like, I think about sometimes I'm like, oh, we left some things spoken about, but that's cool though, because that might lead someone else to be like, you know, so.
Speaking of, are we recording yet?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay, cool. So we needed to, give our scores for Clerks 2 from last week.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
So I can go first if you'd like.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna start off. All right. So just to let everyone know, thank you for tuning into Side by Side. Spoilers alert. We do spoilers, and
that should be the name of the podcast. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
I'm
alert.
I'm pretty sure that's already taken.
Oh,
but
God.
I did enjoy that, dude. Like you put spoilers whenever you had the Eddie Murphy one drop. You were like, no, spoilers ahead.
Oh well, I uploaded the wrong video because I put spoilers ahead on the very first edit, and then I go, wait a minute, it's a podcast. So then I did one with my voice, but I didn't turn down the audio, and it's like spoilers ahead. But when but when I uploaded it, I uploaded the one without the audio, so it just says it. So I was like, oh, whatever. Next time, we'll be better. I'll be better at saying. But hey, but by this point, if you've been tuning in with us, like you know what we do, and we don't need to kind of give you a heads up. There are spoilers, but we're catching up with Clerks 2. We forgot to give it a rating. Ben, you want to take it off?
I gave it a 10. I'm just gonna jump right in there, man. I gave it a 10. It's a great movie. It's a really good sequel. It could be a good standalone movie as well. But it just didn't have that same like gravity that Clerks had, you know. Like it was like I said, man, I compared Clerks to like modern day Shakespeare, man. It just had that back and forth. It had that, you know, real life feel to it. It's like this is what people go through, you know. And even the goofy parts, like, you know, oh, my girlfriend sucked 37 dicks in a row, like, you know. But it's great, man. Like even that part, like that got me, you know, in a row, you know, just that question. Just
I quoted.
And I think.
Sorry,
what's that?
I quoted. I was telling a story to my buddy, and somehow Clerks that part he goes, "What? They're in a row?" I go, "Huh?" He goes, 36 dicks? You're number 37. I go, oh, you getting me with Clerks? And I was like, dude, I forgot how I got to the conversation, but he turned it around on me, and I was like, oh, he's doing a Clerks quote. Awesome. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes. No. I love it. But yeah, solid 10. Like I said, I gave Clerks a 13. I think that is a must-watch movie. Even if you even if you aren't into like indie movies or anything like that, it's just, I think one thing that Clerks is, it's like Waiting, man. It's like
Yeah,
that. It's like that movie before Waiting. It's that movie that just shows like a regular day. Like it's a day in the life,
yeah.
and it really captures that, you know.
Slice of life.
So yeah, exactly, man. And so that's why I gave that a 13. Clerks 2, another uh, another slice of a day in the life, just a little a little bit different. Like I said, but it's still a solid movie, man. Like I quote that, uh, if not equally, uh, possibly more than Clerks. The Lord of the Rings scene, I love that. Like, it's great.
I,
It really
I
is.
I really like the Clerks too. All the whole ensemble works for me. I like that when I knew when I was watching, I was gonna get more of a Jay and Silent Bob presence, and we did, but it wasn't overbearing. It wasn't a lot. It's a unique. It is a day in the life. Another slice of like this of what these guys do. I love the ending. I actually can't remember what I gave it. I think I'll give it a 13 or 10, something like that. I know I gave it a really good score. But I can't remember what I gave it. But this one, Clerks 2, yeah, I would give it a 10 as well. The only reason I'd give it a 10, not like a third, it falls. If they didn't make Clerks 1 and you just saw Clerks 2, you'd be like, this is a really good, funny movie. And so I definitely used to be like, yeah, it's got good scenes. The dialogue is funny. The female characters are always strong. The it's the humor. It's goofy kind of stoner humor. It's Kevin Smith, but he just knows how to
Yeah.
write, and it's like he knows how to write poetry, and we like to listen to it. And so Clerks 2 is a must watch. Is just kind of if you're one of those just kind of you want to just watch a couple guys just kind of slack around at work, and then I like that they get in the consistency of the characters. I did the other day purchase Mallrats because it was $4.99 on yeah, it was $4.99
Love that.
on Amazon, so I bought it, but I didn't do the Blu-ray. I got this DVD. Remember we were talking? I got to start getting the Blu-rays. Kind of get both. But Clerks 2, I mean, I've just because we did the Clerks side by side. I've been on this Kevin Smith high since we did for like last 2 weeks. Just how he does things, how he gets to where he's at, and even after having a heart attack, like ramping it up even more. Him really stepping it up, him really being like, I just keep going. I'm just gonna keep this thing going, And I tip my hat. I love the guy. I'm gonna see if I can give him a shout out. Someone in real life get a photo with him. That'd be cool. But
That'd be badass.
that would be best. But yeah, I feel like I have to make a movie to get close to that guy where it has to win some kind of award he's gonna present. So that's where I'm going with that. But Clerks 2 is a 10. I think it's a solid movie. The characters are good. The dialogue is perfect. The story, if you're into the story of Jay and Silent Bob, like they actually have a good storyline. It's good. It adds in. It fills and it keeps it going for the next ones. So that's what I did like that about that.
Yeah. And then Jay and Silent Bob just across the entire View Askew. They call it the View Askew. Oh my gosh, View Askewniverse. There it is. And they're in every single one of Kevin Smith's movies, I think, thus far. I don't know if they were. I'm pretty sure they weren't in Red State or Jersey Girl. I'm not sure about Tusk.
I didn't see Tusk. I haven't seen Tusk, but now I want to watch Tusk because how the way he talks about it's his worst movie.
Dude, and Justin Long, man, like we'll kind of get into Jeepers Creepers a little bit. He was crazy good in that movie, like just the way. And it may just be that we see Justin Long in a lot of comedic roles,
Yeah.
and so to have him in this, because I mean, the first time I really remember seeing seeing Justin Long was Dodgeball. That was his deal. And he actually got this role because of his role in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yep.
So, but yeah, seeing him in a horror movie was like really. He did a great job. Like he totally sold you on. He was like scared to death. Like his facial expressions, just how he can turn pale. Like I don't know whether that was makeup or that was him just like losing all blood from his face or what, but man alive. He did great in that. I mean, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
he scares the crap out of you. I mean, sorry, you get the feel of the horror from the creeper. You feel it. You feel that he gets really he's the fear. Okay, so just start off on Jeepers Creepers. The first thing, it's just like the way it starts off. You're just having a joyride with your companion with your sibling. And
yeah,
one thing I love about this movie that I didn't get. Okay, so the first time I'm trying to remember when I watched Jeepers Creepers because I don't think I saw this in the movie theater. I know I saw two in the movie theater. I don't think I
yeah.
saw one, but I what I'm trying to remember is I that's the Friend Zone movie. That's a movie that I invited. I was supposed to go like a date or something, and it started on, and I remember just watching it, and the girl was like, "Well, now my parents are back," and I was like, "Wait, it's almost over. Like this is we're gonna see what happens," you know. And she was like, "Wow, I was in high school. I didn't know it, but when I saw it the first time, it hooked me. But you're right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Justin Long as as the comic relief character. See, I'm trying to remember. No, because his performance stuck out to me. That's what it is. I didn't see Justin Long as a comedian. I remember him in Galaxy Quest, but I didn't. It took me a
Yeah.
second. It wasn't until the very end when I was like, "Hey, that's the guy from," because he has a box haircut in Galaxy Quest, and this
Hmm.
one he has the long hair, so he's gotten older. So I was like, okay. But when I see his performance and I see him between him and Tris, what was that? Oh, between the Derry and Trish relationship, it's beautiful. It's awesome. I'm just gonna go out and say it. I think Trish might be one of my favorite leading horror females. Like, and she's a final girl at that. She doesn't die, but
Yeah.
her brother does. But but I was like, man, she uses,
Spoilers.
she uses,
Sorry.
she uses. I don't know if you catch on to it. She uses movies as
Yes,
her
dude.
awareness, and I was like, that's so awesome. Like Jeepers Creepers has so many layers.
Yeah.
It is deep, and I'm like, whoa. Um, just from watching horror movies and now understanding more of horror movies, like what they consist of and how they work. I'll say that like the shots they use, the way they write in the character, the way they see him. I didn't pay attention a lot when I was younger. Now that when I really watched through this movie, this first one, the way they budget it, like it's good. They don't have a lot. There's not a lot of action to it, so it's a
Yeah.
slow burn. It's a slow burn, but I gotta say the way you start to learn about the creeper, because I went in with a blank mind. I was like, I'm gonna pretend like it's not Justin Long. I'm gonna pretend that I don't know this movie. And when I did that, I was watching it and I was like, dude, this is a slow burn, and it's like you really love they man what's his name, Silva Tom, what's the writer's name,
Victor Salva.
Salva, yeah, that he does a great job with this. Like it's like I don't know, I didn't do too much research on it, but outside of this, but he does a great job on just really like bringing in his world and the little things that they have that they do. Um, yeah, I mean, I think he was is a, like a technically a bad person in real life. So
Yeah, actually, I did a little research on that. Went to did about little over a year in prison for being a child molester. Uh,
yeah,
so I think that being said, man, a lot of this cancel culture. I mean, I don't want to cancel out Jeepers Creepers just because this dude's a Jeeper Creeper. Like he,
he is a Jeepers creeper. He was writing about
you know,
himself.
yeah. I mean, dude, like it's just I don't like that fact. It was something that I didn't know until probably after the second one came out, man. It wasn't something that I was necessarily aware of before I really liked this movie. And honestly, man, like it's as crazy as bad as it is, I think to say. I mean, it's swept under the rug pretty well. I mean, unless you just do some like crazy research, like you said, you don't really know anything bad about him. He kind of keeps it all under
Hush, hush.
wraps.
Yeah.
Yeah, hush hush.
I'll say like when we started doing this, I was like I said, we're disconnecting the creators. We're going straight just for the actual movie, the story, the characters. Sometimes I notice I'll say the actor's name instead of the character, and I'm just practicing. I'm gonna get better eventually down the line. I'll get more into the story, but Yeah, we're just trying just to talk about the world that exists, the like this Jeepers Creepers world. Yeah, I cracked a joke right now that he is actually a creeper because it's kind of funny to me,
Yeah,
but at the same time, like I'm not gonna disregard that this is not a good movie.
exactly.
I'm not putting a blind eye, not neither to what's going on, because that is an issue when somebody takes advantage of power.
Yeah,
That's a big problem. But I don't know exactly the story. I don't know what would happen. The molestation thing, that's messed up. But
dude.
but
I mean, we'd have to cancel out Kevin Smith movies too because Harvey Weinstein was a big
oh,
influence
that's
on getting
right.
that dude. Like at the end of both of the movies, he was thinking Harvey Weinstein
Yeah,
or Weinstein or however the hell you say his name.
he was a
So
he.
I mean, it's well. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no, you go.
What
You
were
go
you gonna
first.
say?
No, no,
I
you're right.
mean,
You're
it's
right.
just and honestly, dude, like I feel like that's probably the case with a lot of these you know, studios and stuff like that. I mean, like you said, it's you see abuse of power a lot, and there's probably quite a few of them that just haven't come to light yet. If
Yeah,
we're being honest, but that, like you said, that aside, like we're critiquing the work, um, and even then, Harvey Weinstein is like secondhand uh, to that
yeah,
Kevin Smith deal, but still, it's I don't think, like you said, we're separating the work and everything, but I think at least bringing attention to like, hey, you know, this is definitely something that happened, something that has affected the work. I mean, he made two sequels after this, so I mean, uh, somebody's turned a blind eye. I also saw that Francis Ford Coppola was a executive producer on the first one.
oh,
Uh, yeah,
I didn't know that.
and so yeah, he is apparently he was good friends, or Francis Ford Coppola was his mentor. And for those of you who don't know, that was the director of The Godfather. I
Apocalypse
think all three of
Now.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also uncle to Nicolas Cage. So
Yes.
fun fact there. Um, but yeah, man. But all that stuff aside, we kind of got that out of the way. Um,
Well, I
Jeepers
mean,
Creepers, man.
no, I'm
Oh,
glad.
sorry.
I'm
Go for
sorry.
it.
I'm glad we did that though, because there are going to be. This is going to be like a little fork in the road or a wedge. We're going to have to. I don't want to avoid it. It is what it
Yeah.
is. I'm
No.
not. We're not putting a blind eye to it. We totally know what's going on. But like you said, we're here for, like, I guess I would say, the noir of the film,
Yeah.
the appreciation of the film. Like, I don't want to get too deep into it, but if somebody made a movie and we watched it, I want to be like, okay, well, that villain or whatever he is, or she, whatever, like, okay, they know how to do art. Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
critique the art. The other stuff they do, I just, long as whatever. I mean, there's so many ways you're gonna get caught in whatever you say. So I'm just gonna say that yeah, they said everything is a trap, but this movies are good. Let's just get started. Let's get back to
Yeah.
the topic, but go for it.
Yeah, man. So Jeepers Creepers, you come into the scene like I really had to. I wrote down like what years it set in because I looked it up like I think before we even it might have been after we talked about doing this for our side by side, but I was like, what years it said in, and then like on Wikipedia or whatever it pulled up, it said like 1960. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. I mean, I know they're driving an old car and everything like that, but it's I was like, what years it set in? It's uh, I'm guessing it's 2001. That's when the movie was made, everything like that. Also, they mentioned that the Darla and Kenny
Yes,
characters, they
78.
were 78. So 23 years after that um, would be '01. We're kind of really diving into it. We'll explain some of this stuff just a little bit later, but the license plate game was, like you said, it was like it's like almost like a buddy comedy road trip kind of thing, with no comedy, buddy horror road trip, um, where you have the brother and the sister. They're coming home from college, and yeah, man, it's like you said, the first probably like 15, maybe not even 15, 10 minutes, man. You just like set up uh, that rapport that the two have with each other. Like
Yeah.
they're talking about the boyfriend, her poli-sci track team boyfriend that she has in college, and like, oh, what happened to him? And mom loves him, and all this other stuff. And you get that, you're getting a little bit of backstory. They're playing the license plate game. He comes up on a Winnebago, and just like he's kind of being a jackass about it. Just the way he's kind of driving. Yeah, man. And then you get that creepy ass truck coming through, like.
It's
It's
adrenaline pumping, man. It gets you.
Oh
The
yes, dude.
the audio gets you. It brings you in. It traps you.
It does. And yeah, man. So what I have written down here is like that whole Kenny and Darla thing. So the story goes like, and it kind of differed between the two, that the high school sweethearts were like going to prom, and they all they found was their car. But then Derry says, well, they just couldn't find her head. So, that implies that like she had a body, there was a body there, but no head or something like that. And, it's like one of those cautionary tales. It's like a local legend.
Folklore, right?
What is it?
Folklore.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something. Let me see if I wrote it down. Yeah, local legend. So I have one from my hometown of Killeen. We have like the Maxdale Bridge,
What's
where
that?
there's numerous stories. It's like there's this little town called Maxdale outside of Killeen and all that. And there's this like rickety bridge where there's ghosts and everything. They've had like a TV series go out there and do all the findings and everything like that. But it was kind of like theirs. There was like, oh, there was a bus of kids that fell off the bridge and stuff like that. Somebody hung himself, and you can hear him swinging underneath the bridge.
Wow.
And all this stuff. So, and it's a pretty old bridge. You can't go over it or anything. Like it's completely sealed off. But that was always the thing. Like whenever it got around this time of year, people would get brave and go out there to the Maxdale Bridge, and you'd be like, oh my God, do you hear that? Like, and there was a couple times I went out there too, man. Like it's kind of like, it's almost like one of those rites of passage, like going out to the Maxdale Bridge and seeing how long you can stay, or seeing if you hear any ghosts.
Damn,
kind of thing.
yeah.
So, I thought that was kind of interesting too. You have these, I don't even want to say tall tales. What is it? I'm trying to, but anyway, just a little legend. Legend of like Kenny and Darla or something like that. Urban legend. That's
There
what I'm
you
trying
go.
to think of.
Oh, next movie.
Yeah, right. But yeah, dude. And then like playing the car games, like I said, the license plate game that they're playing. And then, oh gosh, what was it, like right after where the creeper almost runs them off the road and everything, like they just go back to playing the games. Like it's like, whoa, what was that asshole doing? Yeah, man, like it starts off very like a normal movie. And you forget that, like, one thing that it was funny that you mentioned like going back and watching the movie like you'd never seen it. Whenever you first watch this movie, I mean, you don't know that it's otherworldly, You're just like, oh, this is a serial killer kind of thing. And I mean, I guess 2 against 1 for a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, on a road, you should be all right, even him chasing after you and running off the road and everything like that. Okay, but dude, then you find out that you're dealing with like a demon or something like that. And there's like little hints sprinkled out throughout before you learn all this stuff, There's like a wooden table whenever he goes down into the House of Pain that has like the creeper on it with his wings spread out and stuff like that.
That's right.
So, and that's the kind of stuff I was picking up on this time around, just like the little things to catch, but trying to look at it with fresh eyes still. Yeah. One thing I wrote down here too is like, what was it? Trish was giving Derry a hard time for not doing his laundry before he left and bringing it home to his mom. And obviously, the mom's like going through something because they kind of mentioned that too. He's like, well, all my clothes turn pink and everything like that. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. Or whenever the creeper runs him off the road, they have to like tie down the trunk. He has
Oh,
pink
big
underwear
underwear.
that he's
Yeah.
tying. So I like that. I like that kind of that storytelling where you bring that back around, and it's not till you actually go in and you're like, oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Um, but yeah, man, dude, this movie was so good. Like you said, there's so many layers. I feel like I'm just going by, scene by scene in this movie.
Do it,
And
because every scene it's thick, and it's like I keep getting more and more. And then now that we just spoke about something else, as I'm thinking as you're talking about it, I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking other stuff. Like, okay, there's way more things now. Because yeah, I'm having my adult brain on. So I think we could just talk about every little scene in this movie because it is so good, and the way I like it because I think we like to watch movies that actually kind of come back in full circle, and this movie keeps you connected the whole way.
yes,
The Jeepers Creepers one, just from the beginning, it just like you just wake up and you're already there, like you're in this world. There's no introduction. There's no titles. There's no. I mean, even the title look kind of like it's simple, but the title card, but. I remember I remember this movie. What happened with me with this movie was I remember somebody telling me, "Are you gonna watch that movie, Jeepers Creepers?" And I said, "Oh yeah, man." I go, "I don't know, is it a horror movie?" And my friend said, "Yeah, we saw it. It's like a comedy horror." So I thought I was expecting a scary movie,
yeah.
and then I was like, "Why are people calling this like a comedy, like a funny movie? It's not funny at all. It's not. It's like I remember the movie ending, and I remember being pissed off,
Yeah.
being like, "Dude, he died." Okay, go get where wait. Oh wait. This is like time has passed. Oh wait, they don't know where oh no, damn it. And then it ended. I was like, the villain lives? Like what?
Yeah.
The villain, how does the villain live? Like what the hell? And
Yeah.
it's basically because it's just you're just this little snippet. You just pop in and you pop right out. And everything is great about this movie from the beginning of
Wow.
the companionship between the brother and the sister. Really, just he's it's a, I was thinking it would have been a completely different story. It was older brother, younger sister, but this is older sister, younger brother, and Trish just kind of like she's oh, man, she's like a cool girl, and she's just kind of like she's going back because I think she's filling out or she's not I forgot there's something
Yeah, I think like her grades are slipping or something like that too. Like
so
she's like you said, she's the older sister, and it's probably like he's a freshman because
yeah.
funny enough, we'll tie this back. We'll tie this into the second movie too. Was it Bannon that he has the T-shirt on before he gets all cut up and everything and changes his shirt? That's the same
High school.
basketball team. Yeah, same high school that you
He
see
went
in
to. He
Jeepers
went to.
Creepers too. So he went to that school, and so you'd assume that he's like a freshman. Plus, he's around that age too.
Yeah, yeah. He does love
Still
freshman
bringing.
things.
Yeah, and he was. They also mentioned that he's living on campus, and
Yeah.
so she's living off campus. So there's at least a year or two in between them. Um, but yeah, man.
The
What
beginning of
was
this
it?
movie, fills you this. It gives you all the dialogue. It gives you
Yeah.
everything, and then as it slowly starts showing you the adrenaline scenes. Um, I want to talk about the individuals, but the creeper itself, I've picked up so oh sorry this I want to talk about just talk about the creeper. The creeper itself, I picked up that it's old
Yeah.
because from the first one you kind of get that it is old in the second one, but the white hair that it has,
Hmm.
the way it like that's why I was like, why were they able to run over it? Because it can't. It's an old monster. It's not as agile, but it's still powerful, and it is super powerful. I mean, the way it really shows you that it picks up the female deputy, just kind of pulls her right out, kills her, and then
Yeah.
it grabs that guy's head right away and then decapitates him, and then he picks it up and eats it. I started seeing the story more of this movie. The story
Yeah.
more of this movie scares me now because it is about it's a hunt, it's a cat and mouse game. And we get to see the cat catch the mouse at the end. This is a
Yep.
hunt. This is a hunt game, and it shows you how the creeper is not only strong, but he has a personality.
Hmm.
And hold on, man, I'm gonna just pause this timeout real quick. I'm actually gonna call timeout, dude. As I'm
Yep.
breaking this out, I'm realizing that he's a child molester, and he's like the creeper. dude, the creeper. He's the creeper.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
I think we talked about it enough
No,
in the
okay, because
beginning, dude.
it's
I think they can put, yeah, dude, he's totally the creeper.
dude,
Like he's the one, he's preying on people. And dude, you can kind of see it in that head scene, dude. Like that's sexualized so much. Like whenever you first see that, you're just like, dude, is he making out with that, you
I,
know?
I didn't get that. So, and then as you're telling me, dude, I'm thinking about what a child molester does, and I mean, I watch all these stories on YouTube about I watch animated horror movie stories on YouTube, and because I got this idea when I was in college getting my degree, I was like, my motion graphics degree, I was like, well, I'm a good writer, so good writers tend to have better explainer videos because they write things right as they go in sequence. So I thought, well, if you get stories offline, at the time it was Craigslist, and you can just kind of animate the stories. Well, I found out they do that with Reddit. So they get stories that happen to people in life, and there's a lot of child molesting stuff, and there are people kidnapping. So I'm like just absorbing it. Like I'm not acting on it, but my awareness is real high. So as I'm
Yeah.
saying this, I started breaking down the creeper, and I was like, oh shit, the creeper has a personality. The creeper
Mm-hmm.
is strong. He just pulls those bars. Like, how are you gonna stop? It's like it's so powerful. And then as I started watching the second one, you start seeing that he's creative because he's an artist. So we're watching the creeper. Is this like this? I think we might have to leave. I'm gonna just leave this in here because think about this. It's like we're watching the creeper create something about him being a creeper,
Yeah.
and we can't stop him.
No, there's no thousands of years old. Like it's been going on forever.
Oh my god, dude, this is just deep. Like,
Yeah.
I think okay. I don't know if we're gonna time in or something, but man, I wanted to. I wanted just to kind of pause because I'm like, it's building in my head, and I'm saying like
Yeah.
this fucking sick fuck is fucking toying with us because the creeper is an actual fuck. He's toys with he toys with Derry the whole. He smells the underwear.
Yeah.
He stalks him. He's basically playing with him. The scene where the sheriffs get pulled out and died. He's in the front seat just joking around.
Yeah.
He's like playing with the little boys. That's like, is that what happened? Is that what he did? Did he molest
Yeah. The little boy.
little boy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was
see,
like a 14-year-old kid. He had him he had possession of child pornography too. That's what they got him for.
motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. So no, I mean you're absolutely right, man. Like I knew there was something to it. I knew there was. I just whenever you said that, they totally put it together.
Yeah.
Like you're absolutely right, dude. Like it's yeah, man. It's crazy.
Because as we're doing
life imitates art, or art imitates life.
life art, whichever one. And but as we're doing this, it's making me a better writer. Everything we break down, as I've been following Kevin Smith for a while, I'm like, okay. So I started thinking about my writing, the way I write, the way I experience things, the way I like to filter, the way I do all this. Way I guess I'm an artist. This is what I do. And now doing documentary, I'm a filmmaker for sure. I know this now, but I've been one forever. Just now I'm official. But I just see like I'm like, am I really watching this guy? Like I want to like this movie, but there's now a bad taste in my mouth. It's because when I watched it when I was younger, you're thinking of splatter, gore. It's not. This is in your this is a thinker. This is a thinker.
It's almost like a suspenseful movie. It's not even so much of a horror movie.
Exactly.
You know? It's just one that just kind of takes you on a ride, and you're just like, "Ooh, the fuck is going on here?"
It is, and it's like because it shows it shows all the things. Like in the second one, you see that he made the star with Derry's stomach belly button. Like that's even like what are you trying to tell us there? And it's like every 23 years, like it was like because I see the way the guy looks. He looks kind of gross. He looks like a pedophile guy would look, and but you know they could look like anything. They could look female too, but whatever. But like the creeper, like you start seeing the things he does and the way he acts. I'm like, dude, you're literally describing yourself, like, and you're powerful. So guess what? You're the director. No one's gonna tell you no in your world, in your imaginary creeper world. No one's gonna tell you because you're the power. That's what he's showing. Look how strong I am. Like that's where I'm tripping out, man. I'm like my mind is blown.
Dude, you know, and I think so. You have to think that Justin Long knew this going in. So did Trish or Gina Phillips, who plays Trish. You know who they're getting involved with. They're pretty young themselves. I mean, at least Justin Long. I mean, he's not a minor or anything, but still, he's a young
actor at the time.
A young guy. Yeah, so he even came back for a sequel. You know, he was a cameo, but he still came back for a sequel. You know, no means am I trying to defend, you know, Victor Salva or yeah, or whoever it is. But I mean, possibly changed, and just writing from his experience of what he used to be. Hopefully,
That's true.
you know, uh,
Well,
that's the wishful thinking on my part. By no means do I think. I mean, I'd like to think that, but honestly,
I know
dude,
where you're
like,
coming from. I know where you're coming from. It's like the conversation about the mental health one I was having with you. I think maybe this is the way he had to be stopped. He stopped himself. If we want to look at it in a good light, like, hey, look what I can do, but I really want to be
yeah,
stopped, but I don't know how to stop myself. I could totally agree with that. But yeah, as we're breaking these movies down, like I don't even feel like we're really getting too deep into a lot of these movies. But I mean, I think like part two, the scene with the son, that
yeah,
really gets me now because after having my son, more actually after my wife having my son, I realized something about I like to watch Last Action Hero. I really like watching that movie. It's one of it's I don't know if it's like it's just a good nice goofy movie. I like it. So that's parody, a movie about make fun of movies, about action
mhm.
movies, and it's the guy who actually made the action movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger, making fun of himself. So I like watching that. But there's the scene in the beginning where, and this is kind of where I knew I was getting my adult hat, my my thinking. When Jack Slater, the Arnold Schwarzenegger character, when he is in the beginning, it shows you how his son dies. He gets pulled off the roof. Holy shit! I was like, oh my god, he watched his son die. That's why he's depressed in the movie. Oh fuck, I wouldn't want to watch. Holy shit! Like it ruined me. And then watching this, oh shit. So the way they end part one, the creeper, it takes Derry. And by the
Mhm.
way, I'll say this, being from the border, that name Derry really threw me off because I never heard the name Darius before. So
Mhm.
I heard, so I was always like dairy, like DAIR, like dairy, like I did like dairy product. It's like, why would you do it? So every time I hear his name, I was like, why do you call him dairy? Hey, that's a CJ moment. But he was so the way it ends is Trish running after the creeper, lifting her brother, a family member, a loved one, out. The second one begins. Creeper doing his same bullshit, toying with a kid, toying with his victim to make it scared, and then how's it go? The dad's following him, and then the little boy gets lifted up, Billy.
Mhm.
So it's
And
like,
took like literally flying away. Nothing you can do
and
at
and now
all.
and now when I saw this, I was like, that they have that dramatic pause on his son, on his eyes, the dad's eyes, like he doesn't blink. He's just that's
Yeah, dude.
insane, man.
The fades in both these movies are very cool. Like the fade from whenever they get run off the road to going back to the House of Pain, uh, and everything like that. It's just like a very slow fade. Like you don't know where one frame or
Yeah,
one scene's ending and the other one's beginning because you have all those trees and everything like that. You see that in the second one as well. With that scene where you just on his eyes for an extended period of time and then he just kind of fades out, fades and
yeah.
slowly fading out. I thought that was pretty interesting too. But yeah, dude, like, um, what was it? Yeah, the House of Pain. Whenever Giselle calls him, and then you kind of get that name for it and everything like that. Whenever you first see it, it almost looks like a cathedral, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
it
it's you
does.
have bodies displayed everywhere, and so that may be where you get a little bit of that demonic, sense too, because it's like trying to mirror a religious kind of thing. Uh, but it could be like an alien or something. You never know. But a demon just sounds
What do
better.
what
Like
I'm sorry, go.
no, go for it.
I was just gonna say that what the creeper to me is like a relic. I
Yeah.
think it's just some kind of hybrid like monster that was meant to, it's actually just one of its, or maybe there was a few of them, but the other ones just die, or maybe this is just its spring, or I don't know. I like for the first one, I like how they make fun of the small town. Darius constantly making fun of the small town folk, the inbred, the
Hmm.
locals. I did like the sheriff, the main captain in the at the very end when he showed him, because he comes back in the third one, I believe. But I like the way
Yeah.
they show him. He's a really good. He's good for that part. He's a good line. He speaks well. Roach, what are you doing? He's like, what you tracking at? What you stealing now? He's like, why don't you come check me? He's like, get him out of here. 77 Novo. You have for a car thief. You have shit for taste. So like, I
Yeah.
like that kind of personality. The way they show the creeper itself, like I said, like the white hair, I feel like it's old. It really can't move. So that being said, with the car hit scene, when it hits it, it knocks it out, and they damage, they hurt it, but it's still able to get back together. I feel, and I think there's a metaphor for the car in the movie. I feel the car is the third character in here, not the eating you, the actual car, the Trish's car, because they even
No.
say why should I brought my car, because her car, it seems like it has problems, but it's like old reliable. Because even Derry says I should have brought my car, and when they hit, you think, well, Derry has more of a modern car because there's a light switch or a cigarette fuse that works. What am I, lighter? What am I trying to say? The jack
The
or
cell phone.
yeah.
Yeah, you're talking like the cigarette,
Yeah.
cigarette
Yeah,
lighter.
it's
I
cigarette
mean,
lighter.
but that's what you plug it into.
Yeah,
It's
so
just not called that anymore. I know what
yeah.
you're talking about.
So that she hers doesn't work, but even the cell phone, I like that it was outdated. Like he didn't charge it. Like there's no there could have been
Yeah.
no reception. Nowadays 'cause my phone still doesn't get reception at certain parts. I like that it was like the small town, but the car is like every time they're in the car they're safe. They get pushed off the road a couple times. They're in the car. Every time they use the car, they use the car to hit it. It protects them. I feel that's when she said, "Don't go in the corner." She said that's that's where he gets you. I feel like that they should have gone to the car. But then again, this story would just continue. Whatever the car. So I feel once they cornered him, they got its prey. But man, it's a very cat and mouse movie. It's a very stalker movie. The creeper he's just a jokester, man, and he's powerful, and it's like you can't be stopped. He's very, 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 very jokes, very, very powerful. Like when he takes a little boy, he just freaking flies off like real quick. I mean, he takes Derry. That scene's like it's powerful, man. You see, watching your sibling be just stripped like that from you, and you're just, and she's trying to. They show the monster's eyes, the creeper's eyes, so much that they want you to focus on it. So when you see at the end that he takes Derry's eyes, that you see that they're Derry's eyes inside of the monster. But
Dude, and so I was sorry, just kind of on that. Do you think he was blind?
the creeper,
Yeah.
oh, he gets smelling, so he can only smell.
Yeah. Well, that dude, and because like whenever they zoomed up on his eyes, like whenever he was on Derry, it kind of had like that pale,
He does that.
you
He
know,
does have that.
tint. It was like, I don't know whether it's because it was like a lot of stuff shining on him or not, but maybe he was blind and like he had something going on to where he was able to navigate and do all that stuff.
I don't. Let's think about this real quick. If the creeper was blind, could he have landed on top of the? I mean, sonar. He's like a bat.
Yeah.
Maybe he does use, and then I mean, you see the nose piece in the first one, but the nose piece doesn't get open until the second one.
No.
Man, it shows it. Even the grip that he has on Justin on Derry, how he's choking him. It shows like he's not letting it go. He's gonna kill him. Like that's what he wants. This shows you. I learned from this thing for sure. Like, don't be scared of what's coming at you. Sometimes you just gotta turn around because, like, Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger, you don't fear him. He has no power. I feel like this thing's. I mean, I feel like this thing will kill you either way. But if you don't scare it, you don't. It doesn't get the fear that it wants, but it'll still kill you.
Well, and I don't think he got the fear that it wanted at first. It didn't know it wanted Derry's eyes at first. It wasn't until they saw him the second time, and then that's when he really kind of picked up on the scent. The first time he was trying to run him off the road, be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna scare you and see what I can get out here.
God.
And so, it wasn't until they saw like somebody getting shoved down the pipe, a bloody bag and everything. That's when he started chasing them and everything like that.
You're right. Maybe his eyesight's getting progressively worse as they go, and that's why when he's at the police station, he does. I mean, this is a great horror movie. It has great shots. It has the monster going from the creeper running on the side of the wall. He's just like it's powerful. And I think I want to. Maybe if I go back and look at this, I want to see if is the creeper blind. That does make a good point. Like I think he might be. That's why he needs to get to Derry as fast as he can, so he can get those eyes. Because I guess as the creeper you deteriorate, or it's just weird. He's like a reptile. He's got scales. He's got. I mean, what do I have here for him? Where am my? Yeah, I mean, what does it say? Well, the cool thing I like that they talk about. That how does he get from the station to the diner? There's just no way. And then you find out it flies because when they run over it, the wing pops out. So you're like, oh, okay, the thing can fly. this thing is this thing
It's
is
not human.
not human.
Yeah.
This thing is strong.
And see, yeah. And like you don't really get that until, that scene with with the cats and everything. You kind of omit, you just like, you lose that little bit of logic. You're like, all right, well, yeah, it happened. It's a movie. You're not thinking like it's an actual real life thing. But yeah, man. So another thing that I kind of I thought of too. All the crows around the creeper and everything.
Hmm.
What if those are like his victims? Like,
Ah.
because after you see, Trish
Oh, he
is
does. Yeah,
leaving, and you see that, and then you see that crow like going to the creeper's
yeah.
uh, lair, and it's like that lone crow and like calling and everything. That was just one thought, at least for the first movie. I don't think that really holds up for the second one to
But
really.
but I think that's a good. I didn't put that together. You're right. I like that when they do hit him, you see a few of his weapons. In the first one, you just see the axe really.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of his tools. You don't see what he has, but you know he has something there. Um, the sewing, the preserving the body, I like that story. That I didn't pick up on that the first time I watched it. I didn't pick up on the Kenny and Darla. I
Hmm.
didn't pick up on that. I didn't understand what that goes. But then when I started seeing it, it's slow because it's such the beginning of the movie is so slow till the end, and it picks up, it ramps up. And it doesn't even ramp up that high. It just gives you like from where it's at, it goes up a lot. Um, what was I gonna say? The creeper from the first one to the second one, he still looks the same. He's goofy. I feel because even when you get the old lady shoots the shotgun at him, he jumps out like it's kind of like like he's falling through all the house and like rolls whoa like it's kind of like that, like he's being goofy. Um, there's everything that I see. The image that I got stuck. Sorry, I'll spit it out, Junior. The image that I got stuck in my head is when the sheriff goes or the guy's doing lights out and he sees those inmates like they're scared, they're pointing, and you see the creeper. He's just naked there, like eating
Hmm.
the guy, and he's eating the legs, and he's a new leg, and he's eating what he wants. So do you think he only attacks what he needs, or does he just kill? Because he doesn't kill
I think
the
I,
lady.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's sometimes he'll go after victims because he needs something, and then sometimes he'll go after victims because he wants something. Because the second one, dude, he had no motivation. I mean, he was just constantly getting tore up for something that he wanted. You
It's
know,
like a
it
sense.
wasn't. It was yeah. Either that, dude, or like you said, he just likes to hunt.
Yeah, I think it's
That
like
could. I think that possibly could be it because I mean I don't know, man. I feel like if he really wanted that bus to stop right where it was that first time, he could have done it. He could have went through both of those tires. I feel like that. I mean, but
oh, it's no,
yeah,
he's building up the fear. I think he really
yeah,
knows how to in the story. He's building up the fear to really be like I don't know if we want to jump into two yet because we still just I want to talk about
dude,
some more
yes,
the
I know.
the
Same.
the relationship. I mean the brother like for this movie being 2001, it really hits a lot of like just I want to say for 2000s this one really just skyrocketed like real good. I think it was under the radar a little bit maybe because I didn't really see a
No.
lot of promotion when it was coming out when I was younger, but I mean it's a classic, it's a cult classic, it's a really good, it's a good movie. The creeper, the relationship, it just she's the way that you're having you're in your car and you're driving and then this thing can just come and just ruin your day, and that's what it does when they talk about it. It just scares you by running you off the road and getting you more scared. So it wants to show you the scene where Derry falls from the vent, the tube. That's a great
Yeah,
shot. That's just
yeah,
like, oh wow. And I wonder how they did that. I think they just kind of dropped them on a mat or something, or like something with like an air mattress or something, and they just kind of slowed it down. But man, it looks great. It's a great shot. There's a lot of nice little things, LTs. This movie has. It's like I feel like it's also an art piece.
yeah.
But like I said, I feel like it's the creeper making a movie about him. Like it's a documentary on this creeper. But
Right, dude. Yeah, dude. That whole scene, like where Derry has that light on him. Uh, Whenever after he falls, like you can
yes,
it looks like Trish can see him all the way down. So, every time he thinks he sees something, they like you said, it's the rats, coming out
yeah,
at him. And then You know what I thought was kind of funny? You know, Derry is like he's after she drops him, you know, after he's kicking and screaming and doing all this other stuff, all this extra stuff, dude. He has it's almost like he has the audacity to be a dick to her, like, oh yeah, thanks for that. You know, like I was just like, come on, dude. Like you
It's
were
your
the one who
sister.
wanted to come back here. Pretty much suckered her in, saying like, oh, what if it was you? You know, and you know he was in the right there, kinda. I don't know, dude. It's one of those like moral questions. Like, what would you do, CJ? I mean,
Nah,
honestly,
nah,
like,
come on.
I'm out of there.
You know what I would do. I
I'm.
wouldn't. No, I saw.
Oh
Oh,
no.
even with that damn creeper like getting on me, like see, it was just me by myself or me, my brother or my sister, and that thing was doing that to me. I'd definitely pull over and be like, "What the hell?" What I'd show enough like attitude. Like I'd be like, "Look, I'm not trying to fight, but I'll defend myself." You know, I would not go back. And that's a good thing you brought that up because I was thinking like, well, what if he just kept going? I think it would still got him. That thing was
Oh
flying.
yeah. Well, true, but I mean, would it have caught his scent? Would it
That's
have
what I'm saying. That's what
known
I'm
that?
saying. Would it still caught him because it's still creeping around? The thing's flying. The scene where they're getting the fingerprints. Trish is just looking up. You're starting to get subtle hints that the thing can fly. You hear like I caught
Yeah.
when I remember when I first saw it. I heard the flap. I kind of was like, well, maybe that thing's jumping around. Or I thought predator just jumping around, and then I thought, like
Yeah. And
if it
like I said, he likes the hunt too. I mean, that's
mhm.
why he's down there, you know?
If it bleeds,
Um,
you can grill it. I used to say that at the restaurant. I used to do like, quotes on movies, and I'd be like, "They're like, is that the steak special?" And I go, "If it bleeds, we can grill it. Like we can kill it." Is what I'm supposed to say. Mm.
uh,
But
but dude,
what's up?
oh, so what I was gonna say is one the reason I kind of mentioned, you know, maybe it was like an alien or something. This is kind of out there. Like this is kind of a reach, I think. But like when that scene that you were just talking about, where she looks up and she sees it, like, or she hears it, like flapping around and everything. Uh, you see the diner, and I could be mistaken, but it looks like it says like "foo." Like it almost like it cuts off the D on food. You know, like all that other
Mm.
stuff. So I was just like, let me kind of look that up. So, Foo Fighters, right? They're not just a band. All right,
Okay.
it was the name given to UFOs in World War II.
Ah.
So they would see these like um,
Oh, makes sense. Foo Fighters. Yeah.
lights, you know, and everything like that. So yeah, I was like, oh, maybe it's a alien or something like that. But that, you know, like I said, kind of a stretch there, but something. I guess you could even say like foo is like something that you don't know what it is, uh, and
Or
stuff like
or
that.
or where I'm from, Foo is a person. What's up, Foo? But I'll say
I pity the foo.
I'll put a Foo. I was that's a good observation. Like yeah, maybe there's a little foreshadowing to maybe. Well, I don't want. Never mind. I was gonna say what if he's illegal alien? But but leave that alone. No, I that whole scene from where the build up you start really getting that. I didn't feel it till I saw it this time with the stalking this. Then all of a sudden once I clicked in my head, I was like, oh my god, he is stalking these things, these siblings, this couple. I like that. I like that when you see what they would do for each other. Because even Trish at the end, like I said, she does turn into one of my favorite. She's badass. She's funny. She has to step up. She steps up. She uses movies to use her common sense.
Yeah,
This is the part where you gotta go. This like I like that she's like there's movies in that universe. Like there's also cell phones, but they don't work. But they're not. But even at the time, they weren't like that. They were. That's
they
exactly how
weren't great.
that's
Yeah.
exactly how they worked.
Hmm.
The timing in that movie, if it is 2001, say because it is, I think it is a 2000. It is gonna be timed in that because of the 1978 reference. The more and more I watch this, the more I understand that a movie can have more layers than if you could we could it could be a conspiracy amongst its own like we're doing right now. It has so many things to talk about, but the thing that really catches me, the quality is so good in this movie. Every frame, everything.
It's low. You know, it feels low budget though. Like whenever you first start
Mhm.
watching it, like you mentioned, like it's put together very well, but it doesn't feel like it has a lot of. It doesn't have a huge budget, which I think it did get its budget slashed, like right as they were going down to film. I believe in Florida. I could be wrong
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that, but yeah, dude, like it was. It had that feel to it, man. It was almost like yeah, it had quite. I mean, it was. I think it was a $10 million budget.
It had Jeep, yeah,
You
10
know,
million. It had a $10 million budget, and at the box office, it got 59.2 million.
yeah. So I mean, like what was cool about it is like whenever it first started off, like it didn't seem like a high budget movie, and then you see the creeper and all the kind of like CGI and like special effects you have with that, and a lot of it was practical too, like his makeup and everything like that.
Yeah, I would say like
Um,
90% of it is practical. This movie, like this, they
and then
really,
the wings and him
yeah.
flying and stuff like that, CGI. But yeah, dude, like it just had that feel, like the feeling of like I said, like a Clerks almost, like it was a low budget film, and then you turn it around, and then you show this grand, creeper and everything, like something that is so horrible and so evil, like it's gonna be at the end. Fun fact about the end, I was reading on the trivia. Uh, Justin Long was the one who put the makeup on for that last scene, like
Okay,
with
thank
him
you,
through.
thank you.
Yeah,
I figured in my head I go when I saw that because I already knew the ending, but when I was watching, I go, let me pay attention. I think that's Justin Long's eye because if you're gonna film this, it had to
yeah,
be it's him. It's what it is him. So he really
it
did
is
go.
him.
I did like that he came out in the sequel because I like that he stayed with it because usually when but I mean also I think it was he still hadn't made it yet or he for
It was
him
2003, so I think Dodgeball was 2005.
yeah so he
He
was
was
still.
he was getting there, I think. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah. For
know.
some, I don't know because it seems like I felt like I knew him before I saw Jeepers Creepers, but I don't. I think only
Like
through
in a
Galaxy
TV
Quest.
show or something like that? I'm not too
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Let's see. Wait. Oh, actually, I got the wrong person. Hold on. Let me get Justin Long up again because I think honestly, yeah, he didn't have that. Let me see real quick. Sorry, I had the
He
wrong
didn't have
person.
the chops.
The chop suey.
Um,
Let's see. He had because it was just Galaxy Quest with Brandon, and then Happy Campers, Jeepers Creepers, Crossroads. Is that the Britney Spears movie? And then
oh,
and then he also did a
so
video.
yeah,
He did
he
another
had
video.
that the following. Yeah.
Yeah, then I mean
Oh,
he only
sorry.
had sorry, he only had those. And then he was on Ed TV series. No, he wasn't on Dodgeball was 2004. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it's just weird. I would think sometimes it's hard to get the original actors back. I mean,
yeah.
even in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, they a lot of the stuff they say that so many reasons why Patricia Arquette didn't come back for her for part 4 for the sequel because there's a
Hmm.
scene for her. But I think a lot of them they said it was because she was pregnant. I mean, a lot of the reality was she was pregnant when they were filming, so it wasn't going to work out for her.
Yeah,
But I mean, anything like that, a lot of sequel to get the main person, and I like that they bring him back. Like you're right, it's a little cameo, but it's enough to really inform you a little bit more. The second one doesn't really steal the show; it just adds more to it. It gives it more of a
yeah,
depth, and it meets it the quality. They both have that same quality. And you're right for 10 million. I think what I was getting is that the 10 million back then wasn't a whole lot for a movie like this.
yeah,
And what you got a really good. But I think he really put his time into it because I'm seeing like the shots, like all the shots they have, they're nice, they're long and drawn, they make sense. There's still there's still hints there, for things for small foreshadowing, for big foreshadowing. The cats, like you kind of got the cats right away, but then they really show you all the cats, and you're like, oh wow, there are.
yeah.
That's what we're talking about. I mean, what's up?
Oh, and I was just gonna say, like, you have Giselle, man. Like, you get this crazy thing that happens. You find the serial killer's lair, and then you get this phone call from this psychic. Have you seen the cats? This is his house of pain and all this stuff. And you're just like, what is going on, man? Um,
I think
I
that
thought that was kind of interesting too. Like, what were we gonna say?
I think we could talk about the House of Pain a lot, but what you're talking about with Giselle and she was talking to Derry, I think if Trish would have got on the phone, she would have been able to help her. But I noticed he doesn't let her get on the phone at all, so she doesn't ever hear. So I'm like, when you watch the movie, you're like, why don't you listen to her? But you don't know who that is, and then they even go show you the diner. It could be someone calling inside. So
Hmm.
when Trish actually meets Giselle, they're like, oh, she's like, who's? She has to kind of catch up on speed because Derry already spoke to her. And it is kind of weird. Like, damn man, like, I feel like all that dialogue is on purpose. It's to keep them there to figure out what's going on, so they can stop running out. Like that's the thing that
Yeah,
gets.
because if they had left, then the creeper would have got him. I mean, he was right there at the car.
Yeah,
Either that, or but I think too, like you said, he likes the hunt and everything like that. And you got to think too, like it's kind of strange that these people are sitting at the diner, and then you have it may not have been in the same county, but you would assume that they've had a lot of missing people recently because whenever you get to the sheriff's office, you see just a billboard full of missing people. And yeah, you would think that they would take something like that just a little bit more, not even more seriously, but be like, yeah, there's been a lot of weird stuff going along, or you know, on around here.
They have that small town mentality down in this movie, and but they don't. That's what I was saying. I like it because they're not like yokels. We're not all here. This is our town. Get out of here. They you feel it. You feel a little bit of it, but you don't get it. I like that they have that. The wall. The wall where the kids are. I feel like kind of segues into the second one because you don't see it in this first one, but in the second one you're like, this thing takes kids because it's a little boy. It ends on,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, this thing takes kids too. And in the second one they show you one thing. I did actually look up one thing because I was like, that looks like him, Jonathan Breck, the creeper.
Yeah.
There's a scene where I was like, I was watching it and I seen him in real life at one of the Comic Cons, the HorrorCon, and I was like, hey, there he is. He's one of the cops, and then and
Yeah.
right here it says Breck also played a bald cop. I was like, hey, there he is, and I was like, but he had hair when I met him, but he shaved his head as the creeper because he would say that as in real life, if the creeper needed hair, he'd have to eat it. So
Yeah.
that's why the creeper didn't. That's why he had all that ugly, nasty hair because he didn't want to eat hair. So the character is the one that he did that. But I want to segue into number two with that, how it shows the little boy and it ends with Derry getting pulled, and then you go and start off for number two. This is a cool sequel. Like
Yep.
you don't really pick up that it's in the same day until you start catching all the dialogue in the same time frame, and then it
Yeah.
tells you day 23, and you're like, oh. I'm actually playing in the background. I like doing this nowadays. I like on the news on the last few episodes. I've just been playing in the background just to kind of keep me in the mood with the number two or the second movie I see. And I like the shots. I like the kill scenes. Or this one doesn't. It picks it up a lot. They do give you a sequel. They add to the story. And this is what I'm also learning about sequels. I'm learning what it makes a good sequel and why we go back to them. It does this. Like for sequels, it's gotta be. You gotta take what you learned from the first one. You got to put it into the second one, and you got to add, and you got to take away a little bit, but you got to add to it, and you got to grow the story, and then you got to pick up the budget. You got to pick it up the awesomeness, the whole crap. Show us like you talked about like the creeper being strong, or you show us a little bit, but show us how strong the creeper really can do. And then like when it picks up Coach Charlie, when they put out the flares, like that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot. He grabs the coach and he brought in the flare falls. And then like the guy in part one who gets his heart, whatever, he gets his lung ripped out, it shows the light flicker through it. That's awesome, man. That's like, it's like a
Dude, yeah, and honestly, man, like one of my favorite scenes from I'll just go back to the first one real quick. Is whenever the sheriffs are following them out to the church, and he's on top of the car, and you hear the Jeepers Creepers like put the
remix.
new version, yeah, the remix, and then you just see the creeper like on the car, just like chilling, and then you see everything kind of unfolding. And I just thought that was so cool. And like I could see why whenever you said somebody told you like it was a horror comedy, like I could see where they would say that because even whenever I was younger and not liking horror movies all that much, I found myself just kind of like a little giggling like whenever he throws the sheriff's body in there, and then he like closes it and it's dark for a second. You're like, all right, it's gonna go to the next scene. And then you open it back up and he throws the head in there, and like you said, he's a jokester. He's just like joking around and playing around with these kids and actually everybody that he is tormenting, And to go back to number two, man, it was it kind of starts you off. One thing that I like doing is I like to have the closed captioning on. That way I can I can pick up stuff too, and so it was in Poho County where they attacked the sheriff's office, and it said it was day number 22 at the very beginning when Billy gets taken away, and then the next day is the 23rd, and it said it was 4 days after the events of the first movie. So,
okay,
yeah, I picked that up. You even have later on like whenever the dad Taggart. I think Jack Taggart is his name. Ray Weiss, who was in How I Met Your Mother, he was Robin's dad. But
RoboCop.
Yes, that is.
RoboCop?
Yeah, dude.
He's a villain. He's a badass villain, RoboCop.
Oh, dude, yes. What what is it? Yeah, the kids are listening to all this stuff going on over the radio too. Like before, like whenever it first happens, they get the first little sure, what is it, like shuriken blade or something like that? I don't even know what it's called. But the little blade that goes in the tire.
Oh
They
yeah,
said
well
like,
the shank or whatever the
yeah, dude, they have bodies. Over the radio they said they have bodies that are over 200 years old because they found them with like wooden
to teeth.
uh, teeth and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
and they say over 300 bodies they found too.
yeah, like a ton of them. So, uh, so his layer is completely like he must have been going back to this thing for years and years and years, dude. Uh, so he wouldn't that be crazy if like somebody built a church over the creeper's lair, like not even knowing,
Well,
and
now
then you
we're
have like this demon living underneath the church?
well now
How,
we're going back with pedophilia now with Catholics and all that. Like that.
ooh,
See, that's what I'm saying. As you were
yes.
just talking to me, I like. I mean, I really can't. Like, we're gonna talk about it because it's what I mean. I think because I'm a writer and that's just what I do. Is like, man, I sometimes get inspired by I get joy by hanging out with my son. I know how joy feels like. There's certain things, but like I'm like, okay, this is getting real deep. Um, so the scene where I will start with this scene real quick and then jump into another scene. The scene where that's the cool scene you said about the cops. The
Yeah.
part one, we're doing that. I didn't realize that the siblings were having trouble communicating. That's what. So so sorry, I'm all getting excited. The beginning, we see them having that playful bond with each other, and they're talking. And as shit starts to get serious, they can't communicate because that part, the Jeepers creepy. You even heard the beat. He's trying to explain with her, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" Like they start losing communication. And then
Yeah.
that's what happens, and that's when the creeper gets them. Well, in this one, the second one, he takes out the adults first, all the
Mhm.
parental figures, and even see with the third, I guess he's like the assistant coach or whatnot.
Yeah.
You see the guy that he's like, quit, don't mess with me, Scotty, like back down. And the kid starts like, he starts coming like the alpha male. He shows you like he's trying to protect them. And he's actually only for himself. And but he shows like you see the difference between an adult and a teenager. You got to fight with them. And then once he gets rid of the third adult, guess what? There's nothing but dumbass teenagers left. And man, like that's if the creeper is really gonna. I'm gonna just take what this. We're gonna forget that it's Salvo, but the creeper is really trying to isolate like that. That's one of the things that got me. He's not trying to get in. He's gonna make sure you can't get out. He's got a bunch of things in here that he wants. There's like he's like that, and that's where you get the playfulness, the personality. Because the scene where they lock the kids in the bus, and then he starts doing the no, you move,
Hmm.
you the last kid.
Smiling.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I want, and so we already know from the first one that once he gets a smell of you, it wants it, he's gonna get it. So I do like the dad, the Taggart.
Yeah.
I do love this. It's a dad figure. I love that it's an older gentleman. I love that he's just a blue collar guy. He's hard on his kids because he's a hard worker. There's no time messing around. The youngster's got to get in. He's got to get in. He get his licks in young, and but they're not. It's not super abusive. Just come on, man, let's do it. The Jackie, the older brother, he shows you that he's there doing the job. So that's cool. He's got his sons there, but then, we might let his son go a little too far where he couldn't protect them. And I mean, he comes out with the gun already. He's like prepared. He's like he's an alert father, and even at that, he couldn't do anything for him. I guess we'll just keep jumping around because what I caught on that I didn't catch I mean, I've seen this movie a lot. I've seen Jeepers Creepers 2 way more than I've seen Jeepers Creepers 1, and the only reason
Mhm.
I see it more because my aunt Birdie and I watch it a lot. So we watch it. We have our little Jeepers Creepers night, and we watch both these movies. Just kind of sit down and watch them. But we always end up watching two because I want to say we ended up watching it when they replayed it like the Galaxy when it was like dollar theater night or something. It was like, oh, let's watch it. And I remember we went into like, I don't know, it was like 2007, 2008. We saw it and we're like, hey, it's our movie, Jeepers Creepers. Because I think we bought it. Like we went to Walmart and it was like $5 or $5 bin. And we're like, hey, look, it's our movie. We bought it. So we bought it. So, but when you see all the communication now and the way that the creeper is, I kind of lost my thoughts. Sorry. The way the way I've seen this movie enough where I'm starting to get that the creeper is, oh, sorry, everybody. The father Taggart, when he's building the spears, when he's building them and he's pounding and he's pounding and he's getting mad, like you start seeing that he's pissed, like he's like, he's going. Well, I clicked in my head because I know why he just keeps hitting him and hitting him because he's got that's what he already the wise man that he is. He already knows when I get my hands on you, this is what I'm gonna do to you. And I never got it. All those times I saw it till now. So now when I sit down and I actually pay attention and I pick everything because I want to bring it. I don't like leaving things out. I want to touch everything, but there are going to be a lot of things we're going to leave out. But this is something that's why I like writing stuff down because this is one that I really like. This is one that I really understood that I was like, wow, that's a father's passion. Like he's gonna be that's passion. That's fucking like that's drive. Like I'm gonna get your ass. And even at the end, the creeper is messed up. He only has one limb, one arm, and he's still overpowering that kid. And the dad comes in right on time, just impales him right in the head. And the damn thing's still able to kind of get out of it. It's strong. It's powerful. This thing is a monster. But I'm happy that it took the father to come full circle around and to get his ass because that's what I like. And speaking about full circle, you see the cars, they come back. All the cars you see, the bumper sticker, the one with the roach, you see he attacks all of them. What were you gonna say, buddy?
I was gonna say, man, like, what was it? I had it just for a second. I think I wrote it down. Let's see here. Oh man, I lost it. It'll come back around.
Yeah. I was gonna say about the thing I got with the scene with the gay kid.
Oh,
what's up?
Sorry, it just came back to me. Do you think the creeper likes pain?
Yes, yeah. That's why he likes to tear himself up. That's why when he finds the kids, and this is what I was thinking. That's why when he finds the kids, that's why he messes himself up on there. That's why he's like, the more I hurt, the more I'm in pain, the more I'm coming after you, the more I need you. And that's the creeper, he likes bondage.
And then, another thing too is like whenever that girl gets him with the javelin, like he could have just taken that thing out of the side, or he could have just like pulled it out one way, pulled it out because you just see him kind of like squeezing it in and out, like almost like trying to get jollies off of it or something, and then he just like rips that side of his head off instead of just like pulling it straight out. Well, like there's no, you know what I'm saying? Whenever he's on top of the roof,
yeah. That's why he rips off.
And they do that, yeah. And then that's what I wrote down. I was like, he must like pain,
Well, and I saw it as a trap. I see it as a trap. I see it because there was a part where I was watching. I was like, why the hell does he run into the bus again? I remember because I was coming up and I started like, wait, there's no real reason where it leads up to him running into the bus, but he gets in. Okay. But he likes the pain. He likes to mess himself up. And I think when he ripped his head off, I think that's to give them a little hope and then take it and switch to fear. Give him a little hope, take it, switch to fear. He doesn't really pick on anybody in this second one. Like he likes the kid that he likes to get when that part where he points at him. What's up?
Dude, there's that Bucky character, like that geeky kid. Dude, he tries to get him twice and doesn't get him. I thought that was very interesting. Like he reaches down and grabs him by the head and almost rips him out, and they save him twice. He does it whenever he gets hit with the javelin, and then whenever Taggart comes in and shoots him off. And then, of course, he's left in a flipped over bus, but at least he's safe.
Yeah, true. He's still in there. Yeah. I mean, that's where you do get to see that they did step it up on this scene. It's the idea is crazy though. A bus like that in the middle of nowhere kind of reminds me of an island, of like a beach. So it kind of like I think that's maybe he did something on a beach before and brought it into this world. But it does like, how do you get that like that concept of like it's kind of like a spaceship in the middle of nowhere. Like, and then this is back then the Highway East 9. Like that's all they say. The way they communicate back then, it's like I don't feel like people could do that these days. They wouldn't know how to get around. Everything's just Googled or looked up. Like this movie is just kind of a nice little dated one.
Even the kids didn't know, like they couldn't tell Taggart exactly where they were. Like they even had that little gap. Like he was like, okay, well we'll just keep going this way, until we find him.
And that's what all it is. It's just Taggart just driving around, and it's a simple story too. The thing about the first one and the second one, they're extremely simple stories. They're just drawn out and they're layered really nice and they're marinated and everything hits you and then you come back with flavors from the beginning, from the end. There's good chemistry. I like the characters. I like that they fill you in. I think in the second one, I like the way that his victims can talk to you, kind of like in the American Werewolf in London. Like they can still, the people you kill can talk. I think that's what it does. Is that's what they're the souls. And I like that you said the birds. I didn't think about that. The crows from the first one. I think that's what helps them keep them around and help and actually help the like. I don't think you defeat the creeper. He just goes away, and the next time it's like a different creeper or like a same creeper but different person because of time frame or whatever. But it's a really, these are interesting. These are the way we're doing a movie breakdown for this, and I'm using my filmmaker head and just like kind of just seeing the scenes and shots. It's very unique. It's a very unique movie.
Dude. And I was just thinking, man, like he only has 23 days to live. Like every 23 years for 23 days, he gets to eat, right? And so you would think like, all right, the first 2 days, like he's getting filled up on what he needs, like he's been deteriorated, all that other stuff. And then after that, man, it's just playing. Like he can go around and, like you said, do what he wants and kill who he wants and take whoever he wants. It's just a matter of cat and mouse. It's just hunting after that.
It's hunting.
You know, that's crazy, dude. Like only gets to live for 23 days out of 23 years of being.
I want to know the significance of that, because that is kind of, to me, like 23 and 23. Why is it like that? And also, what's that?
So I was kind of looking that up too. Like I thought maybe like there'd be some biblical significance. Apparently, Salva just like made that up. There's like no kind of historical meaning or anything like that, but you do have 2 divided by 3 is 0.66666 repeating. So you do have that kind of like the mark of the beast.
Yeah,
kind of
mark of the beast. Yeah.
So there is that, but I mean, there's nothing really significant or any kind of historical.
So it doesn't really add or take away from the story. It's just
exactly. It just is. It's something that he made up.
I did see that the budget for Jeepers Creepers 2 was only $7 million more. And one thing, I was watching this on Prime on my computer, and I didn't realize that when you pause it, it'll show you the actors that play the roles. But a little trivia came out on the stuff would pop out during the movie was playing, and I was like, "Oh, that was pretty cool." I did capture one because I was like, "Oh, I didn't know I did that." I try not to pause the movie, but I forgot what I was doing. I had to take a break, and I snapped a shot. But it says here, it says like, at the time of the release, this was the highest grossing film to ever be released during Labor Day weekend. That's part one. The record would subsequently be broken by its own sequel, Jeepers Creepers 2. So on Labor Day weekend, Jeepers Creepers will only be beaten by Jeepers Creepers. So it made $63.1 million at the box office. So, I mean, these are.
Yeah, they're good movies. I mean, they're profitable movies. Dude, one thing I had written after, does the creeper enjoy pain? Whenever he gets stabbed with the javelin, I wrote down, he just got that eye. Like a couple days ago. That has to suck.
Yeah,
he just got Darius. Yeah, he just got Darius' eye. And now,
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that theory. If the creeper's blind, I would like to do a fan theory one on that one, because that one is really shows us this. There's more to it. Like the aging of the creeper is just, maybe he gets old and it dies, and this is where it gets slower. You're kind of beating it. It is still a badass. I like I said, I don't like my. Well, this is kind of, man, this contradicts what I'm about to say. I don't like my villains or heroes to be super powerful. But this one is super powerful, but he's very self-destructive. So he's showing he'll just make himself weak so you can play the game with you. There is something that I like about this one opposed to other, I don't know want to say all horror movies, or just this horror movie caught me, was the there's a little bit of that racial tension. But I don't, it was more like small town racial tension, not like a big thing. What's up?
It was almost like whenever you first have it, it's like that reverse racism kind of shit, where he's like, well, maybe I just don't have the right skin color to play on this team. And I'm just like, you little whiny bitch. Like, and that's the kind of stuff, like, and
But
Oh
no, but
yeah,
what I'm trying to say is like I don't think he see this is I don't think he's like racist towards him being white and black. I think it's because he's better. If you kind of listen to
yeah.
him, and I've been in that
Hmm.
situation where I remember being a little bitch at the end of the game where we won. I was like, "I didn't do good," you know. It's like I remember being like that. But I think it's more like he's like basically he carried the team to there and he didn't do much. But then that guy, he was probably the star of the game because I didn't pay attention because the gay kid I forgot his name, he plays he's
Izzy,
Izzy. Oh, yeah,
because it's
Izzy
Izzy, her
Izzy or
Izzy.
Izzy he,
Yeah,
yeah. So Izzy, like he
I thought that was a stupid joke too, but whatever.
because the thing about it, he's the documentator, like he's the guy the journalist. So that's why
Hmm.
Rick is like and not the peeing thing. I never did that. I don't know why they would put that in there, like them all peeing next to each other, like too close like that.
Yeah,
I mean, Rick, you can't see it, but it looks like he pulls his pants all the way down, and he's just peeing like the next to the gay dude and telling him like now I'm thinking like is he doing that so he can like hey dude write more about me or something like and it there's little I didn't pick up on those layers the first time I watched this. Well, I mean, you know, I was younger, and even when I got older, I still didn't pick up on it till right now. I like that they talk about the little bit of the racial thing. I didn't, like I said, I didn't think it was more black and white, but more of like I'm better than you, and it was that small town mentality of like, you know,
yeah,
maybe he's a rich kid and he's a poor. I could see classism a little bit more in there, but because he does it real powerful. What do you want to call me? And that's when he
yeah,
gets like, oh, like okay, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That he's like, there's that point, and then they don't really get beyond that because there's a real fucking problem here, and that's the problem that they're trying to tell him. He's like, hey, there's a like the coach, the assistant coach, before he gets killed. He's like, hey man, listen to me, like I'm in charge, you know. And then he just gets gone.
yeah,
Um, it's just the way the creeper just man, he toys with them. Yeah, he likes to get hurt. Yeah, he likes to just be a freak, you know. And
yeah.
he's got his tools and weapons now. You see more of in the second one.
Did Sorry. Now, since we were kind of talking about race and everything, did all the black kids make it out of this movie?
Yeah, none of them died.
Wow.
And the
Uh,
top off, the one of the black guys was the main target, and he
yeah.
survived. He survived.
Interesting.
And
Like I said, you because you even have like Scary Movie and all those other movies like making fun of that, and then you actually have a movie where, yeah, and
well,
then sorry,
Canadian bacon. You know, they have that scene at the campfire scene. They're talking about all the black people that die first, and then he goes, they're talking, and they're sitting down eating. Oh, Jurassic Park. Well, two black guys died in that one. You must be really pissed off at that movie. It's a stigma there, but you're right. They survived, but
yeah,
apparently, if you're a little boy, you're not gonna survive this thing. Like, it's
yeah,
like
right.
yeah.
Well,
So
and also, man, you see like you have Scotty in there, and you're like, okay, this is the main character. Well, aside from the
yeah,
creeper,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
and then the deal with that knife, that's another thing. Like, what's the deal with that knife that he had? I guess he had two knives
Yeah,
because they must have like superpowers, or there must be like a supernatural knife or something like that. Not too sure. But
because it goes to the
y
wall.
yeah, it goes to the wall. And then whenever Scotty's impaled by it, like they're trying to get him off there. It's not till like right before the creeper grabs him that they can get him loose. So, you know, there has to be something there to where it's like, okay, we'll give you a little bit of hope, and then I'm gonna just yank it away, like you were saying
Maybe it's a
earlier.
fear, yeah, because it's crazy how that you're. I didn't think about that till now. So the knife gets jabbed into the wall and he pulls it out real easy. The lady twice, not once, the bus driver twice, but not once, she pulls out that thing out of the tire with ease. So how come when
Hmm.
it gets impelled into the wood into his arm, I even like the way he does that scene where he gets because he's like, like it takes a second for it to register for him. I like how they captured that and for the actor it gets impelled in the arm and you have to he goes like it takes him a second like oh wow I just and it does it's sad and when I remember watching that movie the first time being like oh shit it's gonna get him. I knew it was
Yeah.
gonna get him. I knew it was gonna get him. So he pulls out away another person. That's and at night I noticed that. That's the creeper's like main move, just to freaking get people while at night. And
Where's he taking them? Where's he taking all these kids? That's what I want to know.
I think he
And
left.
the coach, like, are they just like off in the field somewhere? He just has like a
Oh
pile of
yeah,
bodies.
oh yeah. Because it's eating, so he could actually like kill the coach and then like leave him there and then come back to it.
Just have like remains or something like
Yeah,
that.
or
But the way he likes to preserve things,
yeah.
though, you would
Well,
assume
well,
like,
so,
and that's
so
another thing too. Like with Darla, if they did just, you know, going back to the first one, if they did just have her, decapitated body, then he could have potentially gone back later and got it. I mean, what's going to stop him?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what I think. I think that's what they're doing in that movie. I think that's what they said. Is why I couldn't find her head. Either he took it right away, or he. I'm actually. It's the part right here where it's the javelin is jabbed in his head. So he could just pull it out, but he's toying with them. He's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing with them. He's really wants something because he's going back and forth for a long time. Just
Mhm.
he could just pull it out, but it's crazy how it shows you that his wing is a web padding. It's like
Yeah.
a webbing. Sorry, padding, webbing. It'll catch you, and it catches that guy. Now to see the body parts fall from the sky would be kind of crazy because you get that from the first set. We're gonna talk about the third one. Now that I'm thinking about the third one, because I know the story a little bit better, they interweave all of them together, so they're
Mhm.
all kind of the same the time frame. Um, I want to say that there are two characters in the first one that you're really rooting for, and only half of them come out. But then you have the second one where we really don't have a one person. You got the girl having the flashbacks.
And what's up with that too? Like, why do you have so many clairvoyant people? Like, and it seemed like this is the first time this has happened to her too.
Yeah,
Like, you have Giselle, who's been getting dreams and stuff like that. Uh, and apparently, this kind of happens to what's it, Minxie or something? I think that's her name. Uh, so you gotta wonder too. Like, there's something that's trying to warn people about the creeper, but you really can't do anything about it. What if it's the creeper like giving them these visions? That just came to me.
I could I could
Whoa,
I could see
that'd be
I could see
cool.
I thought of that. I thought about that too. I thought if it's it's the creeper giving the vision so it can stop try to stop me. It seems like a jokester like that, like come play with me, or
Hmm.
is it the dead souls trying to protect you? Because the little boy is like he's right there, he's right
Hmm.
there. I can't. I never understand what Justin Long is mouthing. I can't see I don't know what he's saying when he's going like that. Like because the little boy kind of pick up on his way. He's like it's right there. Then you see him running. You see the creeper running. This is kind of a mind fuck movie, mind twist for sure. This movie's really, this one really they're really well made.
Yeah,
They're really good stories. They're really good characters. Um, I mean, you don't really hate Scotty because when he dies, you feel bad for him because even like right before he dies, he's like apologizing because he knows he's gonna die.
yeah,
And that and that
yeah. But that's yeah. I
that
don't
that
know. I
that,
don't.
that
Maybe that's where we kind of differ. I don't feel too bad for Scotty.
Scotty, nah,
Um, you know,
I get Scotty. I get him though.
he,
I get where he comes from. So I'm not gonna not deny Scotty. But hey, buddy, I wouldn't try too hard to pull that because if that thing cut my hand, I'm like, sorry, Scotty, I gotta let you go.
yeah. Oh, dude, same. Like yeah. Like watching this, I was just like, because I'd forgotten like that whole aspect of like that tension between those two. And like whenever whenever Scotty got taken away, I was like, I was like, eh.
Scotty, yeah,
So sorry, Scotty.
we tend to grow up with a Scotty here and there, and
Yeah,
they're coming all sizes and shapes and colors, but that kind of
uh,
cocky dude, you kind of just. But it's also they're in high school. It's like no one knows what's
yeah,
going on, and no one knows,
no,
and then they're all trying to step up, and you're like, whatever. If I was in if I man to survive these movies would be kind of hard. He's
yeah,
because you don't know what he's doing. You don't know it's stalking you. You don't know he's torturing you. You don't know about that, and they don't. But by the time you do, it's too late. By the time you
yeah,
find out, he gets you. Like you just gotta survive. Like you have to survive the 23. Having to survive for 23 days away from that thing would be really hard. I totally forgot about the end of the first one where you're hearing Derry screaming. That really bothered me. That I was like, oh damn it, you hear him dying. He's torturing him, and
yeah.
then like it's just a monster that's not gonna stop. It's not gonna
Mhm.
stop. And then this one, the uh, the guy gets his head decapitated. Like I like the way the foreshadow they did it. He had his shirt off. In the few scenes you see him without the shirt, and then when he gets his head taken off, the jacket and everything falls off, and it didn't. So it just reminds you that was the guy with the shirt off. That's it's so little things like that I picked up on, like for like I guess filmmakers like point of view, like okay they have they really put it in there with they want you to really know what you're watching, like without the subtleties, the small little things. The thing's not that thing wasn't trying to let us out. The thing was trying to keep us from getting out. That's kind of like a Rorschach
Yeah.
from Watchmen. You think you're in here with me? I'm in here with you. You're in here with
Yeah.
me. That's an
Dude, that
awesome
was like
line.
it really was, dude. Like one of the most cliche things to ever say, but it comes off so well. Like I really I enjoy the hell out of that movie. I love that movie.
I know.
Um,
Yeah, Watchmen was a kid. What's up?
w- um, yeah, I like I said, I was just kind of going back through my notes again. I also have the birds are a warning to stay away from uh from the creeper. Like you don't want to go near this place, man. Those birds are there, which is kind of creepy because like recently in my apartment complex, like over where we have our cars parked, there's been crows and like blackbirds over there.
The birds are acting strange.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And I'm just like, uh,
The
it is 2020. God
yeah,
knows.
God, I know.
Um,
Well, that's what I'm gonna tell you. I saw 3 horror movies today. Jeepers Creepers 1, Jeepers Creepers 2, and then the Dallas Cowboys game. I watched a little bit of it. And watching Dak Prescott get hurt, we're like watching live. I'm like, that thing's broken. I can see right. They're showing him dangling his ankle. I was like, God, like reality hurts. I was like, shit. The Cowboys they pulled it off, but still, it's my dad's team. Try to root for him, and he passed it down to me. So I'm kind of,
yeah.
I'm stuck with that. But what was I gonna say?
Can you see me, CJ?
No. Usually it comes right back when that happens. I see Ben Garrett with no
Yeah.
E. I see what's going on. Did it battery maybe or
No, I got 47%. Let's
maybe
see
the
here.
Wi-Fi or something?
Possibly.
Yeah, the creeper is just toying with people. The wing, he's toying with them with the wing. Like look, it's like a shower curtain, and then he thinks what he gets, messes around. High school kid
Yep.
messes around.
I don't know what's going on. Wait.
That's just so. I don't know what it is. How does it rip his head off?
Oh, wait. Start video. There it goes. I must have hit something.
What would
Okay.
you do in that? Would you trying to save that guy that's getting pulled up with the wing? What do you do? Dude, why I feel like I would just try to like.
You just saw a fucking wing too. Like you don't know what the hell this thing is. Like yeah, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. For me, I'd well for my first instinct, get the fuck off the bus. But that I don't know why that would be the first thing. You know, maybe just because you think that maybe
I mean, you're on the field. It's weird. It's very.
yeah.
It is like I'd already the javelin that I had. He lost one of them because he threw it out. He got stuck and impaled and threw it out. So they had a few more. I think I'd have to get it and just stab it in the wing. I don't know. You can't think. I don't know. You really can't think. Like we've done this before in the other movies. While I was talking about Jason Voorhees, like you really can't think, man. And it's crazy. Like what would you do? And to get out of the bus, but I think in this scenario you have to stay together, everybody, and just look at its patterns, and hopefully it doesn't pick you off or pick up too many of y'all. It's just
Be the fastest person.
Maybe. That's what he said.
That really wouldn't even help either because it has wings.
Yeah,
like,
it's faster. It's the fastest thing. It could knock everybody down in one hit. But even he says that Bucky. He says that what do you want to do, Scott? Because you want to do you want to do a sprinting contest because he knows he's the quickest, most athletic one. It comes back. It comes back about survival. This movie and the kids. These aren't children. It does show that these are teenagers, and they kind of fight back. They're just defending themselves really at this point. And then once the dad figure shows up, he really like he has to take over. And I think that's what it is. The kids can't do it. I mean, they try really hard. The Izzy character I think is important, especially for the times, because they don't really have so they throw the head twice. So the first one, that's when I realized the creeper was that's what I want to say earlier. It was a jokester because the only time, I mean, when he cuts the head off the sheriff, he doesn't have to throw the head to the car ahead of him, but he does it to throw more fear. Here, when he rips his head off, he throws it at the girl for more fear. There's constantly fear. He's constantly adding more fear to them, like not to the viewer, to the people in the movie, in the story, the people in the scene. He's causing more fear for them, so they can be. And it looks like that guy who got his head ripped off. That's another.
And then it turns into the creeper like as soon as he looks.
Yeah, that's yeah. I took to the side. That's a crazy villain. I always knew he was powerful, but until we started really breaking this down, I didn't even realize how strong he is, how powerful the damn thing really is. You
Yeah.
know,
Y- You know what I think would be a cool like prequel to this movie? Like if you it was set in like a Western kind of thing. And you could even do like they did in the first movie, you know, like just have somebody picking people off and you don't really know. And then like probably the last 20, 30 minutes or so, you just reveal that it's the creeper. And like you don't even know it's a prequel to Jeepers Creepers
that
until the
would,
end
yeah, like you just
kind of
start
thing.
learn. Yeah, you could do that because we see the way the creeper kills.
You could
Yeah.
have like a bandana on or something like that, or you know, um, but I think another cool thing would be like, so say the theory is like the creeper has to eat to get replenished or even to add a body part, right? So how do you get wings? What would he have to
Oh, the
eat
body
to get
parts.
wings?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know? Like did he have to adapt like with cars and everything? Did he have to grow wings so he could like get to people faster or because you
Well,
think like especially if he likes to hunt like that wouldn't be a very practical thing to have at first because people were relatively slow. I mean, you know, especially if you could jump like it's on the
yeah.
moon or something like that, you know.
I like that they show the strength when he does jump because even when he gets the
Yeah.
ability, it shows how he just jumps and then he flies and it shows the speed. Like he's not like he's still old, but his speed. I think if it was shot back then, I think he had the wings. Like I think it's just naturally with him. I think
Hmm.
that those wings just happen to come with him. So that's what he used to do. You know, back in the day, I guess, but before like the 300 years or the 200 years he's been doing this for a while. So
Well, you could even speculate thousands, dude.
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
this is like a relic or something that's been around forever
and it
or
really
as long. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, that's all right, dude. I know we're running on those for on time. But the way how old it is, the way with his wings, yeah, that is a good theory. Like he does get his wings run over on the second one. How does he? But also, if the creeper eats for 23 days, does it have to eat a different body part every day, or is it just like a anaconda just has to eat and then? Because it seems like he's stalking every day. It seems like it's if it shouldn't be needing to harvest. It's more collecting. I think it's a collector because
Yeah.
if it harvests for food, it hibernates. It doesn't move. So I feel like he needs to eat to fill up. Maybe that's another thing. But I
And
like
then
what's up?
oh, I was going to say Giselle even said, you know, I think it's ate enough hearts that its heart will never stop. So maybe that's what it's doing too. Is just like replenishing before. Well, and like you said, you know, hibernating. You know, that's a good point too because you have to last for 23 years
Yeah. If
without eating.
if you were doing like yeah like you said like a prequel to this in a different time, that'd be cool. I really got fascinated after catching on I think it was halfway through the first one when I really was like, this is a cat and mouse. This is a stalker. That would be a good movie to make. Like a monster or some predator. It could be anything stalking its prey and watching what it does. This is what we're basically doing. So we're watching. Um, but that would be kind of like a cool angle. I mean, other than this angle, they already did. Like in my head, I'm
You
thinking
know,
about possibilities. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's
like
like,
a serial killer western kind of thing. And
yeah,
then at the end, you reveal like you see him like outstretch his wings, and then you just like because you have somebody on a horse or something like that, or I don't
yeah.
know.
How would you? Yeah, it'd be like another Jeepers Creepers one, just kind of like where it's just a slice of life,
Hmm.
where the creeper just but maybe yeah, if you didn't reveal about the wings, because the way they did it very subtlety in the first one. And
Hmm.
even they do show you the whole bat wing thing when he runs over it, but then at the very end you get the spread wing. But I think that they do it real calm. The second one he fights a lot more.
Hmm.
You see more of the fight, and that's what I like about it because it's the same time frame. It's the same day basically, or same 4 days later. So when he was stalking Derry, you can actually see like you're thinking this is how it's going. Like, what if he was just hovering around him the whole time? What if
Yeah.
he knows where Derry's at the whole time? That truck, it really pissed you off. The first time I watched it, really pissed me off. But it's like, how fast is that thing, and why is it going at him? Why is it going that hard? Why is it going that fast? It's just to me, I like this movie as it is. Now we'll rate these movies.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go
Oh,
with
I have a question for you.
what's up.
So, do you think Scotty, the cautionary tale of Scotty of don't be a racist dick, you think that's going to be an urban legend now that he got carried off by the creeper?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think he's really being racist. I because you do, and I don't know, man.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I
I'm just
think,
kind of picking on Scotty, man, just
yeah.
because, like I said, dude, that just whenever I heard that again, I was just like, it just at first, I was just like,
I think
but
what happens with
it was
Scotty,
young.
with his character, I think what he is, he's isolated. I think he's because
Yeah,
not only did he not, he's on. I mean, I like to spend a lot of time alone, but I also do play basketball, so that means that I like to be on a team, and we all have a common goal to play the game. You know, I
yeah.
think his anger and his loneliness is he's selfish. He does not want to die. In essence, that's why he ends up dying because he gets selfish, and he tells you how he doesn't care. And I think that's why I think the racist thing is like it's there because it's small town. I don't know. Are we in Texas this time frame? I don't know where.
I don't think so, dude. I
No,
think if
it's like,
anything, I would think like the Midwest.
yeah, Midwest, right?
That kind of has the feel of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it has kind of a little bit more of that. So I would
Mm.
say that that it's just that time frame. You know, in 2000, it's kind of we're pulling away from that. I like that. You know, none of the female characters die. None of the black characters
Oh,
die. So it is very like see, and this like this is just Scotty running away. He's the first one to get everywhere. The first one because you know Bucky doesn't open the door and he gets pissed off at him. You know, he's like, I'm gonna fucking
mhm.
kill you. You know, it's like that's the issue with Scotty. He's just trying to protect himself. But do you think that this kid not opening the door kills them? He gets them killed because he leaves them out there. So now we see them outside the bus.
Oh,
Hmm.
that kid that's like Bucky's friend. He's like,
Yeah.
just let me on.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yes and no. And he was gonna get him anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
it just prolonged it. I mean, well, and also, this is like the 23rd day. I mean, at the end of the day, and she kind of learns that and tells everybody, like, if we just survive the night, then we're fine. Um, but I mean, the creeper's pretty. Uh,
I'm starting to feel the race of time here now. Now that we've brought that up a few times.
yeah,
Ricky dies. I forgot about that. The way that the time is the essence. Like creepers, like I need it. Like I'm running out of time. I'm starting to feel it now because he does start getting crazier. He does start going faster. He just starts not really giving a shit about. He starts going off after all the kids. He's a fucking crazy villain, man. He's a really bad like badass villain.
hmm
Like how do you just got to survive the time frame? Like he's like that's the only advantage he gives you is that he gives you 22 or 23 years 22 years and 12 day, basically 11 months to like to survive, and then you have 23
and he,
days to survive the whole
and
thing.
I like at the end of the second one where you have old Taggart there. He's just like, got about 4 days now.
Give or
And he's
take
just sitting there like, yeah. And you got the creeper up there like he's a Christ figure almost, like all spread
it,
out and everything like that.
without
And an
knowing
attraction.
there's a lot of biblical things here. There's a lot of biblical
Yeah.
things here, and even I mean I'm watching the movie in real time. It's playing in the background, no audio, but still, like seeing that even when Scotty's at his most vulnerable and he can't get the thing out of his arm, the knife, like they come to help him, and he wouldn't help anybody else.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
wouldn't do anything. This part does at the end kind of throw me off when the kids just scatter everywhere, so you kind of lose track of everybody. Man, like dude, yeah, just the scenes of just you're trying to help someone and they end up dying is always like a crazy ass scene. Like it's always like you go all this work and then this damn thing still comes at them, and then
Mhm.
he even notices. Yeah, that kid was in Malcolm in the Middle, right? The Scotty kid. He plays the he's a
Possibly. If
I think
he was, yeah.
he was like in the military when Francis goes to the
No,
military.
no,
So,
that I don't. Oh, was he with Francis there?
yeah, I think when Francis goes to the military,
Okay.
I think he's one of the military the cadets, and they're one of the
I
punks that
wouldn't doubt it, dude.
he has that
He,
down.
he has that look, yeah.
Yeah, that straight man look down. He has man. It's just like when the creeper pulls off people, like where do they go? Where's he taking them? Like he's just killing them.
Mhm.
So do you think before we start rating it at the very end of the first one, I was wondering. No, never mind. I just answered my question because he pulls Derry, but you can't hear him. So I was like, did he kill him already? Why he has him in the air, but then nobody hear him screaming at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's get to the rate. Let's see what the ratings were on this. Because this is going to be a different one. I'm definitely gonna just throw this out there already. These aren't my 13s, but for horror, for this is gonna be a different rating. Wow.
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah. It
Jeepers,
got
yeah, Jeepers Creepers 1 got 46 on the critics and 48 on the audience, about 50-50.
yeah.
Jeepers
Which is
Creepers.
crazy, man. I feel like the first one was I mean, fantastic.
Oh no, I see. This is the thing that gets me about the
Rotten
critics.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, the Rotten Tomatoes. Jeepers Creepers has a promising start. Unfortunately, the tension and suspense quickly deflates into genre cliches as movies goes on. I don't think so. I think this was unique.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't think this movie had
Ooh,
the what's up
go to Jeepers Creepers too.
on the Rotten Tomato.
Yeah,
Oh damn, this is even worse. I feel like it's the
yeah, I
same.
know.
I feel like
But read that critics consensus. Like,
Jeepers Creepers 2 is competently made, but it doesn't have the scares of the original.
I
Hmm.
think it's just because it doesn't build up that tension.
Well, I
You
think
know,
it's
you just go back.
this is definitely a
Or
sequel. Like you have to
yeah,
watch the first. This is Jeepers Crew is not Jeepers Creepers 2 is could be a standalone, but it's not a standalone film.
no.
You would totally be lost if you just go into the second one and that was it, and then you watch the first one later. Then you'd be like, oh, he can taste your fear. Yeah, Jeepers Creepers 2. This is basically a book, and Jeepers Creepers 1 and Jeepers Creepers 2 are just a really long book. And if you watch the second one, you're jumping right into the middle of the book. But I mean, this one got a 24 on the tomato meter and then a 37 on the audience score. So it's still very wow. This is very low scoring, very low scoring. I mean, even the IMDb scores for Jeepers Creepers 2 is a 5.6, so it's in the middle, and then Jeepers Creepers 1 got a 6.2. So these movies they make money, but they don't really not well liked. I think
Hmm.
I think it's because they just don't get. You have to get the genre of horror. This is where we're at right now with the horror genre and Halloween. I like that we watch this in Halloween. I like that we saw this in the fall. I like doing my. I like so this is also what I liked about doing side by side with a sequel like this, watching them back to back. Like when I did Clerks and Clerks 2, like I
Hmm.
like watching them back to back. Like I'm like okay, this is cool. Like watching Ace Ventura and When Nature Calls. Like those were I did that back to back, but I was like oh you could interchange those ones. Those are standalone films. But I want to. You want me to rate? You want me to go first? You want to go first? What do you
Do
want
it.
to do?
Go for it.
For Jeepers Creepers 1, I said these aren't going to be my 11, 12, 13. So we're going to knock that out. So we're going to go through a 1 through 10. I would give this one. I mean, dude. I mean, just as a filmmaker, as an art piece, it's a solid 10. But I think, yeah, I'm gonna go with like a 10. Nine. I mean, it's a great movie. Just the way it feels like I'd put. It's kind of hard because what I'm trying to say is, I would rate 2 higher if you compare it with 1. But if you were just
Hmm.
to give, say, Jeepers Creepers 2 as a movie as its own, it's like a 7 for me, like a 6 for number 2. But if you connect it with number 2 and 1, when you connect, if you were to connect them together, like I'd give them both like a 10 and a 10.
Hmm.
If you believe in that world, you go into it and you really like we did, like breaking down the creeper. I didn't think they gave us enough information. And the first one, I didn't think, but when you start taking what the audios, what the dialogue is, and then you start putting in what you see, and then you start building it, you're like, no, there's a lot here. There's a lot that we can catch on this creeper. And the second one, you don't get a whole lot. You don't get a whole lot difference of like the tools or the
Hmm.
like his equipment. You just see. I mean, you see the wings a lot. We know he flies. That's his thing. He prefers to fly. The second one, we don't have the truck at all, huh?
No.
So the truck's not there. I guess it's still at the police station. I guess that's where it'd be at
Yeah.
if
I
that's
think they addressed that in Jeepers Creepers 3.
yeah, and that's cool though, how they started all over. They did start the third one there. Did you
Hmm.
see part 3 by any chance? You didn't?
I did, but I can't honestly remember everything that happened. I think I got stoned and watched it. Let's be real.
No,
I think that's yeah.
it did when I watched 3. I did like that it was weird. It felt like 2 movies, and once you find out that the Me Too happened, and then you realize, oh, okay, it did have 2 directors on this movie. There were 2 different
Yeah.
visions. So, but there was bad CGI. It's like horrible CGI on the third one. The third one, I do know they made the truck the main focus, and it has all these gadgets and everything, which I liked how they began the third one. Like
Mhm.
you know what the critics said about number 1 on Rotten Tomato, that it's a promising start. Unfortunately, tensions, that's what happens with the third one. If the tensions, and it becomes a cliche after that. They have the scene where they have the guy on the gun with the turret gun, and he starts shooting the truck, and he's shooting it like all CGI, and all the CGI bullets are hitting the truck. and then all these CGI bullets are hitting the creeper, and then it's like the truck is is indestructible. So if you whatever you shoot at it, it hits right back at you. Like the truck can hurt you. It's kind of weird. But the third
Hmm.
one is definitely like it's got a different vibe. These first two tend to stay very continuity, very close together. I don't know how long they're made apart each other, and I don't know how long the productions were of the
Uh,
movie.
2 years. It
Yeah,
was 2001 to 2003.
no, I'm talking about. I don't know how long the production was on the on the day.
Oh,
How long they took to make the movies, like in between, like if it took one movie 3 months and the next movie like a year or something, and in between that time, I don't know, because yeah, the movies were
mm,
released in 2001 and 2003, but I want to know from filmmaking point of view, how long did they decide to make the sequel, or did they already go in with a sequel? Because sometimes people always do go in with a sequel, and or the you know.
yeah. I feel like with the way he kind of set up the creeper, that he probably had a sequel in mind, but that it just kind of developed naturally. Like, oh, this is a success, a success. We got to make a sequel to it. You know,
Okay.
like this is more money. I feel like is what they probably said. I think that the shooting schedule for the first one was only like 54 days or
Oh
something
wow,
like
that's
that.
good.
It was yeah, it was really short because cause like I said, they got their budget slashed, and so then they had to cut some scenes and do all that. So I think he had a little bit more in vision for the first one, and then he just was able to do the second one because of the success.
Yeah, I think I think well, you know what? Enough of my thinking. What's your score?
So for Jeepers Creepers one, um, I'm giving it 11.
Uh,
It's 11. I think it's a movie that you should definitely watch. Is it a 13? No, I don't know. I mean, like you said, it has that. I don't know. It just has that artsy film to it, And it's what is it? United Artists. I think is who
yeah,
does it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you have that too. But yeah, man. Like I think this is a must see movie. Like, and it just may be a little bit of nostalgia for me. Like, this was one of the first like horror movies that I really enjoyed. That I could sit down and kind of watch by myself and not get totally freaked out. Because, dude, honestly, I'll be completely real, man. Like, I am not. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm not a big
A
like
horror guy.
horror
Yeah.
movie. Whenever I was 6 years old, man, somebody made me watch Chucky, well,
Oh,
Child's Play, and that freaked me the hell out, man. Like, it was not good, and so I just had like I didn't want to watch anything scary. Didn't like that. So my stepdad comes around and he's just like, oh no, we like scary movies around here. So he was watching them all the time. So what I would do is if he ordered something on DirecTV or anything like that, and I watched it with him, and I was like, okay, I can watch this by myself. So I'd watch it later on that night by myself. It was almost to like build tolerance
yeah.
to horror movies, and I think that kind of plays a little bit into my score. I'm not going to lie. But I mean,
But
it's
you,
it's it's a
but you,
solid movie.
but when you said it plays into your score, do you think you would add more, or are you adding less?
I'm adding more,
You're adding
just
more.
because. Yeah, I think I add more to it because it just had. It's like it's a scary movie that I don't get scared by, so that makes me like it more. Like I wasn't sitting there like, oh my god, like I was laughing and
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of the scenes. But yeah, we're gonna say.
I was gonna finish. I was gonna let you finish, and now I have something to say about because my score. I didn't wasn't too clear, but I'll after hearing your view, I'm like, okay, I know what my want my score to be officially. I don't.
Okay.
I kind of say 8 or 9, but I think like I did. I said 10 and 10 if they both come together.
Yeah.
But I want to see what you got to say for number two.
Number two, I'm gonna give it a 9. I enjoyed it. It was a solid movie. It was a solid sequel. It wasn't. It was almost like you were watching two different directors. I feel like even from one and two. Like the first one, like I said, was that artsy film, and the second one, even though you're jumping right into both stories, you have more context in the second one to where you can just have the creeper come in and yank
Yeah, that's
somebody
true.
out.
That's
You
true.
know,
There's
you know, and if you
the
did that, you don't have that build up. You don't have any of that like, what is this? What's going on here? Like you know who the creeper is, and I mean that's your main character. I mean it's in the name. It's it's
It
all that.
is.
So the Creeper's the real main character in the second one, whereas in the first one you have Gary and Trish who are the main characters. And it's I think it's a must see too. I mean, it's now like you said, if you're going into the second one without seeing the first one, I don't think that's a good idea.
Nah, the
I,
two
I
real
think
the two really solves it. Like you have like I think I'm understanding when you have a movie that says Ace Ventura, then Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Because if I was gonna put that like in a library or books or something, I could put those books anywhere. But if I'm gonna put Jeepers Creepers, I need to have it next to Jeepers Creepers. I mean, Jeepers Creepers 2 needs to be by Jeepers Creepers what?
mhm,
Because to
I
make
agree.
sense, you have to keep them next to each other. Where that's the way I come in. I think, see, they're not funny. They're real horror movies. They don't have any real sense of laugh in them. They're dark. I will say that the same thing would happen last week has happened again with the Clerks and Clerks 2, where Clerks 1 felt more artsy and Clerks 2 feels like a movie. I think
Hmm.
this is the same thing where Clerks Jeepers Creepers 1 feels like an art house film and part 2 feels like an actual action movie. But I think that's how it's supposed to be. I think that's how the equation is supposed to kind of fill out. I'll definitely give the first one a. I mean, I like 9 to 10, but I'll give it. I know a solid 10. Overall, it's a great movie. It does have its parts to be not even questioned. Just watch it from beginning to end. You follow it. It's a great movie, and you're right. It's more of a stalker built up in your head, like you're building up the killer, opposed to what you're
Hmm.
seeing on screen. Um, I'll tell you that I do think that the score for I'm sorry, well, my score for number two, I'm gonna go with like you. You went from 11 to 9. I'm gonna go from like a 10 to an 8. Like I think it really I think two's good. And no, don't get me wrong, but I think you have to watch one to get two. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to get two, but two it adds more. It adds more flavor to the story. And if this is one of those things like you go down the rabbit hole with one and you're like, I wish I can go down a little bit more. Like, yeah, well, here's another serving. So I like that one opposed to just like where you just kind of interchange the movies. You can't do that here. You can't watch two and go watch one. I mean, you can. In theory, you can. You really
But it,
can.
it takes away from one though,
Yeah, the
because
story. Yeah.
that's the whole point of it. Is like when I remember, like I said, even watching it now, it was like, okay, yeah, I remembered like I didn't know that this was like a demon
Yeah.
or this was supernatural
Yeah.
before I started watching it. So if you go into Jeepers Creepers 2 and you know the thing can fly, you know
Yeah,
there's
that's
this
true.
like you get a lot more face shots of the creeper in the second one. You
Yeah,
know,
a lot more.
you get a lot more FaceTime of them, and
Yeah.
it's not just like far away and just standing there and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, man, I think that's where the first one really thrives, and that's where the second one kind of not even drops the ball, man, because like I said, it's already established. I mean, there's no reason you can't go into that movie and just like go right off the bat. Like there's no reason at all. And they do. They just like they go right for it. And more power to them. I don't know if you could have told a better story um, for Jeepers Creepers 2. I mean, I'm sure you can or you could have, but it's a solid story. It's a solid, like you have a bus full of kids. Like, how are they going to get out? Like, obviously, you're going to lose a couple, so you have you have more to work with, but the creeper is your main character. I mean, without a doubt. Like
Yeah,
in the first one,
it was like
yeah,
a day in the life of the creeper.
yeah, his last day before he's
Yeah.
going down.
Man, he's really
So
trying, man. The when Giselle says that he once he wants that smell, it goes after it. They don't talk about it in part two, but they show it. They show it
mhm.
when they're like, why? It's really chasing those kids in that truck, man. It's really like the only gun he has is that the flare gun, and it's just like, man, it's like you have no defense really, And I mean, I like the move that Izzy does. He slams the brakes. It's the best thing you can do. I
Yeah.
mean, I think they all get messed up because of that. But hey, they all get messed up. It's better opposed to just
Did
y'all
Izzy
do.
die in
I
that? In
no
that?
no. I think he just shows them all messed up. I don't think he dies.
Okay.
I don't even know. It doesn't. It just shows the car flip, and I don't think it shows him anymore. I don't think. I don't
You don't
know.
get a lot of resolution either. Like
Mm-mm.
except for like the creeper later on, and you know that Taggart has him.
Yeah.
It's you know uh but yeah, no,
That's a good. What's up?
what's that?
No, you're
No,
gonna say
no, go on.
that's a
I
good
was gonna say
point.
two solid movies.
That's what I was gonna say. We don't know if Izzy dies, but I put it in my head that he lives, and it doesn't. Oh no, I think. Oh no, it's the other guys crawling around. Sorry, I shouldn't be doing this. I usually just have it just to
No,
kind of
no,
just
it helps because it's almost like we can answer our own, like we can answer questions,
yeah, as we
you know,
go on.
as we're coming
Yeah,
up to them.
I think he does crawl a little bit, but that's. I mean, that's I like that. Sometimes we do, like I said, we do. I'm finding out we are filling a lot of stuff up in our heads. What movies we think we see, and I like that a little bit more. But I don't like sharing that when it's no, it's only in my head. It's the way I think of it. When we think about sequels, when we think about horror movies, where do you think, or just what I was gonna say is, where do you think the creeper falls on there? Like when you said like with Chucky, is he scare you like now? Do you get upset with it, or do you think who's scarier to you, Chucky or
Chucky still scare me?
or I mean I'm saying between Creeper or Chucky, which one would you think scarier?
Oh, Chucky all day.
Sounds like because
Yeah, dude.
it's kind of cool because we could easily go into skipping
I
horror.
mean, that really makes no sense. That makes no logical sense now that I say it because I could just throw Chucky into a fire or something and be just done with him. Whereas the creepers, well, and maybe that's it too. Is like there's absolutely no hope with the creeper, so it's almost less scary
Well, the
knowing.
only the only thing with the creeper is you got to make sure he doesn't want you. Like
Yeah,
you got to make sure
or
there's
just
someone.
not be scared.
Yeah,
Just
not
be
be
like,
scared.
Fuck you, creeper.
Right.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you.
I'm gonna get you,
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
uh,
right. Like,
I,
man, you're not that scary.
I mean,
Dang,
he
you know.
really gets messed up in the second one, and he still got that. He's still like there's like I didn't even catch this till like I watched it earlier that the kid there is a creeper he's smelling in the air for him, and you see the fear like he's like that damn thing is still alive, like he's scared, he's terrified, and that's what's keeping him around. I think the fact that he's been scared the whole time it chases him, and that's what really helps him out, and that's what really hurts him, but it helps him out I guess because Taggart finds him. But I would think between Chucky and the creeper. Yeah, I think with Chucky, as long as it doesn't get you with stealth or he doesn't hide from you, because he likes to cut your Achilles heel and shit like that. I'd have to say in like an open area where he doesn't have a gun.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's just a little dude with little man syndrome. So I just gotta learn how to like talk to him about it and help him out through it. But like so there's Child's Play 1 and Child's Play 2 are very very similar movies. Child's Play 3 is a little different, but like so you have Child's Play 1, Child's Play 2, and then even if like Nightmare on Elm Street, you can do. I mean, not Nightmare on Elm Street. On Nightmare on Elm Street, you would just have to watch 1 and 3 because there'd be like the sequels. But Friday the 13th, like 3 and 4 are basically the same day, and then you have Scream 1, Scream 2. That they're kind of like the one. So these horrors you find we have sequels we can kind of
Oh yeah.
watch. I mean, they're. I don't want to like. I was thinking jumping into Scream. I was thinking we could do a couple more just because for the whole sake of October, doing Scream 1
Yeah.
and Scream 2 because I would like to kind of compare like a 1 and a 2 that was good, but then like I'm starting to think I don't think Scream 2 got as much praise as Scream 1 did,
Mm.
and I think that one really falls under the sequels. I think with Scream 2, I don't know if it falls under the same thing as that we're saying that you can't watch Jeepers Creepers 2 without 1, and Scream 2 is literally called Scream 2, so it's like the second act, like second phase of it or whatnot. So I don't know. I wonder if there's I guess what I'm trying to dig for in the way we do this. I'm trying to think like, is there any movies that are like I guess like a recurring character or is there any world or then is there any anthologies or anything? I don't know. Just with horror because it's hard. I'm trying to stay away. Like what you if you don't like horror movies too much, I think we for horror.
Dude, no.
No,
If
no,
if I don't like horror movies that much, we're gonna watch some horror movies
no,
that
no, no. What I'm trying to
you
say is
know,
I'm trying to stay. We didn't pick a slasher with Jeepers Creepers. This is a thought.
true.
This is a thing. So I'm like, oh, but we can go with horror. You can go a lot of things. You can do sci-fi. You can do supernatural. You can do, I mean, a slasher. You can do a whole lot of a lot of. There's a big, like a big range. So if you were to think of a horror movie, what would you like to? What were you thinking? That's like not just that movie, but like a horror subject that maybe we can pick on, or or like
Ooh, man. So I'm not gonna lie. I know we say we want to do it organically, but I had two kind of in mind
which ones?
before, and I haven't seen one of them. Uh, Get Out and Us.
I haven't seen either of them.
Oh, I've seen Us, and it was very, oh, it's interesting. They're like I said, I haven't seen Get Out, and Kenya has told me that I need to watch that. So we don't have to do it this week. I kind of like Scream and Scream 2, honestly. Like that, whenever you said that, I was like, all right. Because I mean, Scream, I totally remember, but Scream 2, I'm just like a little foggy on.
I have the gist of Scream 2 in my head, but I don't like story-wise, continuity-wise. I don't really. I can't remember what information I got. I know the whole story, but I don't know what part I got out of that. And even Randy's part, the Jamie Kennedy character, like that part, he's like the person that fills you in. So I kind of remember his part a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I like Scream, Scream 1, Scream 2. I was just bringing those up because I was just thinking about, like I said, like, you know, there's a bunch of like movies like that, like bunch of horror movies that have sequels, and that you know, they tend to stick with the original idea, that they tend to go with that. I don't care. I get whatever you want to do. Us, I could do that one, or
we still got a couple more weeks in October there, buddy. We can do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean, I just for like Halloween purposes, and man, we could also do Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 2. There's horror movies, or we could do Scream and Scary Movie.
Scary Movie, that wouldn't be bad.
That would be a good one.
I kind of like that.
You want to do that?
Let's do that.
Let's do that side by side, Scream and Scary Movie. Oh, because then that even opens up my Keenan Ivory Wayans. That's a person that a filmmaker, entertainer, creator, I really like. So I really, once I got into him, I liked him as a comedian and stand up and watching his stuff, but then or his skits. But then once I really understood how he got everywhere he got, I was like, damn, he did a lot. He did a lot of stuff. So I'm like, cool. So Keenan Ivory Wayans, Scary Movie, and Wes Craven's Scream. This is gonna be a little. This is also This is gonna be. I like this. So we're just finishing up Jeepers Creepers 1 and Jeepers Creepers 2. I think I got way more than I bargained for on this one.
Yeah.
I feel, and also feel that the darkness behind it that we kind of have to address and have to go through. I feel it helped us understand a little bit more, like about we're just doing the movies and not the other stuff, even though we're not ignoring it. But I like that this was a lot more than what I thought we were gonna get, man. Like just from the cinema point of view, and now us comparing movies to each other and seeing quality, and then what I see of a movie, and you know, a shot, why use this camera shot, why do this, why do this angle, bring it in. Like there's a lot to it. How do you get the story involved in that? And it's just I do like the approach that a lot of the filmmakers go for making the movie, making it come out, the finished product. And then I like our approach to it, to kind of seeing it so I can compare it more and more. I feel this is actually making me a better storyteller, because I'm like, man, we're really digging into movies. Like I was like, I mean, epidemic and the COVID once, you know, it's hit, and it made me it's made me stay home, and I was watching a lot of movies, but now I feel like I'm watching movies with purpose, and that's what I like. I feel like you know, we're talking about the homework, but fun homework, like, you know, fun work. But I like this. Like it makes it feel like this is like like a little bit of kind of schoolish way, the way we're doing it, but I like it. Like it's a way to just keep us on my toes, because man, like I never thought I would really look that deep into these movies. They're just horror movies, but they're when you really see both sides of it, you can get a different view of like how you get to where you got to the end product.
Yeah, I totally agree, man.
I guess that's what I was trying to say, going a little rant, but it's getting late. Time for us to wrap it up. You want to leave anything else? Anything else you want to say?
I would like to say good night to our listeners and viewers. It's been a fun ride. We, like you said, we started off on on kind of a dark subject, and we kind of brought it full circle into the conversation, like these movies do. You know, like we brought it around full circle, and we tied it in, and we made connections there. And I think that's another thing that I really enjoy, like you mentioned about these podcasts, man, is it's fun to dig deep and to come to realizations, even while we're talking. You know, that's why I love bouncing things off of you too, because like it gets the juices flowing, and then you can be like, oh, what about this and what about that? And it's like you said, we do it organically, and we have fun doing it. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. You know, is like honestly, we're hitting on one of the main reasons. Like I kind of hit you up to do this. You know, like I said, have a conversation about movies. That's not just like, "Did you see that movie? Yeah, it's a great movie." You know, like we're really getting into it, and I love that. You know, I can't wait to do Scream and Scary Movie. Like this is going to be really cool because you have, you know, Scream, which is like supposed to be parodying all these slasher films, and then Scary Movie, which
Just parody
is a parody. You know, but it's joking with itself a little bit more than Scream was. You know, Scream was a lot more subtle, where Scary Movie is just like in your face. You know, so I think I'm going to try to go into Scary Movie, like seeing if I can find anything subtle in there.
Yeah,
you know.
I want to see what we can find. I think the way we do this, I like it because I can't predict where we're going. We don't know where we're going, and for those who, and anybody that sees this now, 10 years, whenever they see this at the time of the line, you know, they can follow us and see how we got here. It's kind of turning into like a live video game kind of thing. It's kind of cool. But we'll let you everyone go. We're gonna sign off. I'm CJ Robles.
And I'm Ben Garrett. Y'all have a beautiful evening.
All right. Good night. This is a side by side. See you next time.